Good morning. This is the Board of Appeals, Town of Hempstead, September 10th, 2025, 9:30 meeting. Will everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Chair, do you have any opening remarks?
Yeah, give me just a second to find something to write with. Pencil, please. I have, yeah, but there's a dull one. Let's see. I see several faces I recognize. I'm sure there are some new people here. I'm just adjusting to having moved down here. The way we're going to work this is we call the calendar. The secretary calls the calendar, generally speaking, in the order in which the cases appear on it. At that time, the applicant and anyone else interested in the applicant and his or her representative can come forward, any experts if there's any involved, be sworn in, and you'll tell us what you want the board to know about the matter. If you're here on a case that you're not the applicant, but you're just interested in it, number one, make sure you're signed in, and if you wish to be heard, pardon me, when the case is called, you can move to this front row here. At the time, after the applicant's finished with the case, you'll be sworn in and allowed to stand at the podium and give us whatever information you want the board to have. If you have evidence other than testimony that you wish the board to look at or consider, it has to be in a form that we can put it into the file. So if you have photos, we can't look at your phone unless you want us to keep it. So you'll need to have those photographs printed out. In terms of what we allow in as evidence here, we generally use the rules of evidence as a guide, but in the end, it basically boils down to reliability and relevance. So if you have something, a photograph that is, you can tell us where you got it, and we think it's relevant to the matter, then we will generally accept that into evidence. Did I miss anything, Patrick? Okay. All right, here we go.
Madam Chair, one application for adjournment this morning.
Okay.
Case 47525 Oceanside, Great Lincoln LLC, Amy Seibert, also known as 12 through 70 Atlantic Avenue.
Is there anyone here on the matter? Second call? Or?
Second, yeah.
Well, second call if no one's here on the matter.
Okay, first we have case 46325 Belmore, Chamber of Commerce of the Belmores, amusement rides, special event, duration September 18th, 2025 through September 21st, 2025, with tents, rain dates October 16th, 2025 through October 19th, 2025, also known as Town of Hempstead parking lots B2, B3, B6, and B7. Please stand, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
On the record, yeah. My name is Gene Judd, 2036 Belmore Avenue, Belmore, New York. I am the president of the Belmore Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Richard M. Bavone, 308 East Meadow Avenue, East Meadow, New York. Appearing as the agent for the Chambers of Commerce of the Belmores, requesting a special event.
Good morning, Mr. Bavone.
And it's nice to be back in this arena here.
It's a mixed bag, though. The lighting, sometimes my old eyes and small print, it doesn't work with dark lights, but yes, it's nice.
And again, to the left of me is Gene Judd. He's the president of the chamber. Of the event, if approved, will be held Thursday, September 18th. Sunday, September 21st. Hours of operation are Thursday, the 18th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Friday, the 19th, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, the 20th, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. And Sunday, the 21st, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Rain dates, if needed, would be Thursday, October 16th through the 19th of October, which would be the same times that we're requesting for the regular time. All music will cease at 10 p.m. Location of this event is Town of Hempstead parking lot B2 for Crafts Fair, located on Sunrise Highway and Bedford Avenue. Parking lot B7 being used for handicapped parking. Parking lot B6, which is Bedford Avenue and Belmore Avenue, will be used for children's rides, and B3 will also be for parking. There will be approximately 18 rides with ample portable toilets on site, in addition to on-site security being handled by Blue Sky Amusement Ltd. And also they will have identification for the members handling security. Also, Nassau County PD has been notified. There's a letter that was uploaded to the portal indicating that they have no objection to the event moving forward. Applications have also been filed with General Services of the Town of Hempstead, and the Town Board approved TBR 782-2025, granting the use of the town parking lots. We also filed applications with the Town Clerk's Office and also Nassau County Fire Marshal's Office for 10 permits and Nassau County Board of Health for food services. Prior to the event starting, New York State Board of Health, New York State Labor Department inspects the rides and issues an approval before any of the rides can be used. This has been an ongoing event for many years, and we're respectfully requesting an approval.
Is that your case, Mr. Pavone?
Yes, it is.
Okay, are there any other questions from the board? If not, is there a motion?
I make a motion, file number 463 of 25, Belmore Chamber of Commerce, special event be granted as requested.
Second? All in favor? Have a great celebration, guys.
Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
You too.
Pray for rain. No.
Okay, wait. Where's that? Joe, I wanted you to tell me what it
It
is.
looks like the sign.
Next, we have case 46425, East Meadow, Lords Mortal and Marlon Enriquez. Renewal of grant to maintain 6-foot-high stockade fence larger than pool installation area, also known as 2220 4th Street. Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the full truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat. State your name and address for the record.
Marlon Enriquez, 2220 4th Street, East Meadow, New York. Good morning.
Good morning. Give me 1 second. Okay, you're here. You're here for the renewal of a grant to maintain a 6-foot-high stockade fence that's larger than the pool installation area. On March 14th of this year, the building department inspected the premises and found that you were still in compliance with all the previously imposed conditions. Is there anything else you wish to add at this time?
No.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you'll be notified. See you in 5 years.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
So that was 460, okay.
Next, we have case 46525, Belmore Color Corp., doing business as Villa de Aqua. Renewal of grant to maintain ID sign not permitted in Res C district, setback 7 feet from Belmore Avenue, also known as 2565 Belmore Avenue.
Is there anyone here on this case? I noticed that no one signed in prior to my getting the file. Patrick will just second call it. Do we know anything about, we didn't get any calls or anything about it? All right. Maybe, should we have someone maybe make a quick phone call and see who represents them? And here's the file. If someone wants to call and see who represents them, see if they can get over here if they're nearby. Next.
Next, we have case 46625, Franklin Square, 7-Eleven, number 23790. Renewal of grant to maintain one illuminated double-faced two-part attached sign, overall size 64 square feet, setback 5 feet from the property line, 20 feet in height, also known as 850 Hempstead Turnpike.
Anyone here on that case? Patrick, where's Christina? Oh, so this is another one of the 7-Eleven cases. No one signed in.
Correct, and we've been in touch with their counsel, and we've advised them of their hearings. They are aware of it. I'm not sure why they're not here.
So when we were in touch with them, did we get the indication someone was going to appear?
He said that he was going to, quote, escalate it to field services.
Do we want to call about this one too, or is it?
Absolutely.
Okay,
We'll
second call
make-
that.
yep.
Sorry, Delta Dawn. Here's another one.
Next, we have case 467 of 25, West Hempstead, Christopher B. Glaudino, renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling, also known as 447 Birch Street.
Another, no one's signed in. This is so odd. Did we get any communication about this one, Patrick?
I do not believe so.
I guess we can second call it. It may be pointless if we don't reach out to, if we know who the applicant, how to reach the applicant or the applicant's representative. I mean, it's a two-family case, so, we need to get them in here. Okay, second call that one, I guess.
Next, we have case 46825 Merrick, 7-Eleven, number 27322, renewal of grant to maintain one detached double-face illuminated ground sign setback 4 feet from side property line and 10 feet from front property line, also known as 1800 Merrick Avenue.
Another 7-Eleven case, same problem. Has anyone in the office already spoken to this group like the last 7-Eleven today?
This is all the same representative from the 7-Eleven that we have been in communication with, and we have, again, told them that they need to appear on it. We went over at the last hearing that the board.
Okay, is this 7-Eleven representative the same as the other one?
We've been dealing with the same ones in Texas.
Okay.
Amato and Associates was the one that brought the original application on this particular case.
Well, whoever the office or Christine has been dealing with, I guess we can reach out, and once we reach out to them, if they're not going to get over here, maybe we'll figure out a soon adjournment date so they get here. Okay, that made renewals go quickly.
Next, we have cases 46925 through 47125 Belmore, Raul Hernandez, and Maria Bonilla Vasquez. Mother-daughter residence, second kitchen, maintain shed with less than required side yard and rear yard setbacks, maintain 2 AC units attached to dwelling with less than required side yard setbacks, also known as 2095 Berg Street. Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
State your name first. Raul Hernandez.
Address 2, sir, please.
2095 Briggs Street, Belmore, New York, 11710.
Okay, when you speak, you're going to have to speak loudly and slowly because the court reporter has to be able to clearly hear it so she can take it down, and we need to hear too.
Okay.
We get a lot of papers roughly.
All right.
Go ahead.
I will speak loudly, but not slowly. Good morning, Madam Chair.
As is your...
That's just my style. I'm really working on it. I really am. Maybe after 28 years, I'll get it right.
I used to have the same problem.
I try. Madam Chairperson, members of the board, for the applicant, Thomas McKevitt, San Ward Braff Cascignano, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, 11553. Madam Chairperson, before I begin, I do have a number of exhibits I want to give the board first. The first is going to be a set of photographs, which I personally took on September 12, 2025, at the subject premises and the surrounding properties. They are a fair and accurate representation of the depiction at that time, so I will give that to the secretary. And the second document I'm going to give you...
Hold on, Mr. McKevitt. There is someone signed in?
Yes, there's actually one opponent, yes.
Who's not, so maybe give her a copy. How many copies do you have of the photographs?
I have probably, since a missing board member, I have one to give her.
Okay. Those are the photographs that Mr. McKevitt is asking the board to accept into evidence as part of our consideration of the matter. So feel free to keep those and review them.
Yes. And just so you know, I just noticed there's a typo on them. Photograph number 5, I meant to say 2089 Briggs Street instead of 2095. That was my mistake, and that's actually Miss Reed's house. So that is indeed, I believe that's your house, number 5, which is 2089 Briggs Street in Belmore, correct? 2089, correct?
Change it by pen, did you?
Yes, I will do it right here. So that is the first set of exhibits. The second is a decision from this board on May 16, 2001, in case number 400 of 2001. So which I'll be referring to later on in my testimony before the board.
Does that decision deviate from what we have before us today?
It explains the history of the property and why the property is the way it is. It's a very unusual property because of that decision in 2001.
Okay, we'll accept.
When I get there, I'll explain. I think the illustration with it, I have a copy not only of the decision, but also a map with it, which I think will fully explain as to why we're in part of the position.
Mr. McKevitt, do you have another copy of that decision? Do we have that in our file already?
I do not believe so. I just have one for myself at this point, so try not to cluttering my paperwork.
Could someone?
Okay.
Okay, we'll have a copy made of that prior decision. Have you seen this prior decision? Right, let's make a copy of the decision that he wants to reference in explaining the situation right now, and we'll have that brought to you.
Would you, excuse me, would you identify yourself for the court reporter's purpose?
Oh, yeah. Address. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Mr. McKevitt.
All right, thank you. So, location is, premises is 2095 Briggs Street, is known as Section 56, Block 142, Lot 844, on the land tax map in Nassau County. It is a Residence B zone of the town of Hempstead, located on the east side of Briggs Street, just one house north of Wilson Avenue. It is surrounded by single-family dwellings. The property is 4,331 square feet. And that's not a typo. And when I saw it, I did think that's unusual, but if you just give me about a minute or so, I'll explain why the size of the property the way it is. We are here for 3 applications. The first is for a special exception for a mother-daughter residence. In actuality, it's a father-son residence. The second is to maintain a shed with less than required side and rear yard setbacks. And the third is to maintain 2 air conditioning units with less than required setback on the south side of the property. So why does the property have 4,331 feet? The house was built in 1960, and essentially you have 3 high ranches in a row. Miss Reed's is one, there's one in the middle, and there's one also at the end, constructed at that time. But in 2001, in case 400-2001, the board granted a subdivision with 2797 Wilson Avenue. If you look at the radius map, that would actually be Philip and Kathleen Advanzato. If I'm correct, I believe they were the same owners back then, which did the subdivision. Are they the same people, or maybe the different people? Or correct, they were the same. So what happened was, if you looked at the map from back in the subdivision 2001, the Hernandez property used to go almost straight line, but a little bit zigzag, all the way back to the rest of the property. So it was over 6,000 square feet, which is how it was built without a variance, because I was trying to figure out how that happened. So back then, the Avanzatos was looking to do a rear addition in their house, but their house, built originally in 1902, was a very much substandard property. So at that time, they conveyed that approximately 2,331 square feet from what is 2095 Briggs to 2797 Wilson Avenue. So now you have the one at 2095, rather substandard, with also a very, very narrow backyard in the back. This board granted at that point, which is why I gave this decision to the board. So that's why this property, even though it's a large house, is on such a rather small piece of property. So getting to the first application, which is, again, the father-son application. My clients, again, are Luis Hernandez, as well as Raul Hernandez, as well as his wife, Myra Bonilla. They live there with their 12-year-old daughter, who is in school today where she should be. They also have a 4-month-old son at the home as well.
Dawn, the 2 children aren't on there.
Okay. Budge. Yes. I'll have them up. Mr. Hernandez, just write the names of your children right there.
In which unit they're in?
Yeah, they're with you. Okay. Thank you. Right, so the 12-year-old girl and the 4-month-old baby is who are the other 2 people in the house. So they bought the premises in late 2023, and Mr. Luis Hernandez, who is 65 years old, who is sitting here right now in the back, you see him in the front row, he cannot really live on his own anymore. He has some physical issues. He's actually going in for some shoulder surgery in a little bit, but he still wanted to live independently. So unfortunately, my client, Mr. Hernandez, built a kitchen on the first floor of the house for his father. He should not have done so. It was illegal to do so. He's very contrite for doing it, but again, it was a family situation where he wanted to keep his family unit together, and so there is 2 units. There's one on the first floor, which is occupied solely by Mr. Luis Hernandez, who's 65 years of age. And then on the top floor is where Mr. Raul Hernandez and Myra and the daughter and the son reside on the second floor. So when you look at the plans provided by Above Par, you'll see there is a kitchen on the first floor, and upon the time when it no longer complies with the mother-daughter conditions, whether Mr. Luis Hernandez is no longer there, or whether they sell the properties, whoever it may be, that is the kitchen must be immediately removed. And I've made it very clear, Mr. Hernandez, that kitchen must be immediately removed if this family situation no longer exists. So again, that has existed for approximately a year and 8 months at this point. Again, you shouldn't have done that. And that's the reason why we're here today, in order to legalize that situation. The second application is for a prefabricated shed, very similar you'll see at Costco and Home Depot and things like that. And it is put in the corner of the property, unfortunately, next to Miss Reed's. And where we're supposed to have a 2-foot setback in the rear and 5-foot setback on the side, as you can see, it's only a couple inches on each side. And you'll see that's in photographs 3 and 4 of the photographs I've taken. And the reason why they're so closely pressed against the fences is they have a very tiny backyard compared to the backyards. That's how he bought the property. It is designed for additional storage. And again, I'm sure we'll hear from Ms. Reed, her perspective on that, but that's the reason behind that. The third application is for the air conditioning units, which is located in Exhibit 2. As you can see, it's a very narrow side yard. It's supposed to be 5 feet between units and the fence. They are pushed back, as you can see, as far as they possibly can to the house. And again, that is approximately 2.13 feet when it should be, again, approximately, 5 feet. But again, there's just no space. So again, Mr. Hernandez wants to live in a good place with his family. His wife in the sports, his daughter's in the sports, looking very forward to go to Mepham High School soon, and just really wants to be a good family man and member of the community, which is why he's looking to make sure everything legal is here today. So.
Okay, Mr. McKevitt.
Yes.
So just so I understand the floor plans. So I see what's marked as the second and the first floor. I see the kitchens as you've described them. But I don't see any floor plan showing a garage. I see the garage doors around the house. So I know this is one of the houses that's like a split. But what does the staircase on what's being called the first floor go down to?
Just 1 second, let me
I
get.
mean, I think there's another level I don't have a floor plan for that has at least a garage.
1 second, let me just, I know my
Here.
floor plan's here someplace.
Here.
There's an application and objections for a conversion of a garage.
Okay, hold
Contrary
on.
to our
So see
decision.
this down? What does it go down to there? I get how it goes from
Here we go.
the level down to the front.
Oh, that down?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, what goes, the stairs going down from what's being.
Okay. Yeah, Madam Chairperson, if you look at the first floor and you look at the lower left-hand corner, you have an area with a walk-in closet, a closet and storage. That is a space behind the garage doors.
That, pardon me? Oh, okay, I got you. That's kind of what I thought.
Yes.
I still feel like it looks like there's stairs going down from what we're calling the first level. Oh, here, wait, the old ones are different. I see, hold on. Well, now the original plans are more understandable. So if I go down the stairs from the first floor to that platform where I'm going to go out the front door to more stairs down, are there any stairs, interior stairs going any further down? See, I think there are. See, Becky? Because that used to be a closet.
Yeah, my client's saying there's only a first floor and second floor. There's no other level in the house.
Okay, because when I look at the old plans, that you come in the front door, there's a platform, there's stairs going up to what we're calling the first level.
Right.
And there's stairs going up to what we're calling the second level.
Right.
On these plans, unlike the original plans where the stairs came down from the first level to the platform to go out,
Right.
there was a closet. Now there seem to be some stairs doing something. I'm not clear on what, but on the current plans. Right, Becky? You see what my confusion is?
Yeah.
See this used to be a closet. Why are there stairs there now?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, well, if there's
I
only.
think the closet is here, though.
No. On the original plans of the house, this was a closet, which made sense. You come down, there's a closet, nothing below it.
Right.
See what she says on the original plans, you just had the stairs going to the upper level. Is this accurate? Because one stairs.
No, this goes up,
Right.
and then it goes down. My
No, they
brother-in-law
say
has the
there's
same
nothing
house.
down. That's my question.
Its ground level is.
This is ground level.
Right, okay, yeah. Why don't you stay tall to the board? You say what you just told me to the board. Just say it.
Yes.
Say it.
So,
Don't be nervous, Mr. I lied to him. I said I would do all the talking. But he knows the house better than I do, so he's going to explain to you exactly what's going on inside his house. Mr. Hernandez, please explain what's going on in the house.
Hold on. First, let me just note for the record that I understand that stairs that are where on the original plans was a closet, that partial stairs drawn on the current plans are just a mistake. That though there are no stairs there now.
no, there's not.
Is the closet still there?
No, there's no closet there.
What is there?
Oh, from the lower level? Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wrong, okay.
So for the record, there are no, when I go down from what we're calling the first floor to the platform, which is where I go out the door down the front stairs, there are no additional stairs from that point, except the ones on the outside of the house. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead now, sir.
Hopefully that clarifies that. So that is essentially my case, Madam Chairperson. Again, we have the father-son situation, again, done improperly. That's what we're here for today. Again, we have the sheds, which are unfortunately very close to the corner because of the deficiency of the size of the yard. And then we have the air conditioning units on the south side also, the extent that's just a very narrow path in order to put it there. And frankly, if you were to try to put the air conditioning units in the rear, you'd hit a rear yard setback there. So that's, where you have the issues at this point. So it's just very, well, actually, you're right, because of conditioned units, but again, just for this fact that rear yard's so small, that's right on the side where no one really goes there.
Okay, a couple of things, Mr. McKevitt.
Yes.
I don't recall in the speed talk you gave us. Did you explain the conditions of mother-daughter use to your client? The fact that they're not transferable, that if he were to sell the home, he would have to remove those unless he sold it to an applicant who came before this board and got approval to continue. And that removal would have to be with the benefit of permits for the plumbing, et cetera.
I've made exceedingly clear to my client that number one, he should not have done what he did in the first place. And number two, that upon the condition when it's not his father living there anymore, his father's no longer there at point, or another transfer, that kitchen must be immediately removed. Immediately. And making very clear to him before this hearing, making very clear to him now. That's the rules that must be done. Do you understand, Mr. Hernandez?
I do.
Okay, and then on the sheet that's filled out with the occupants, et cetera, that's the sheet that asks about those same items, about the single dwelling, the single mailbox, the single gas meter. On that sheet, number one is about the entrances to each housekeeping unit. And the applicant, instead of answering there will not be separate ones, answered there will be separate entrances. So where are those? And that's Dawn, Delta Dawn, would you mind showing Mr. McKevitt this? He's going to have to change it.
How do I see it? There's one.
According to Mr. Hernandez, there's another entrance to the house in the backyard. Underneath that deck area, there's another door back there.
How many entrances total are there from the outside to go in?
Two. There's one from the front and one from the back.
Okay. That, you can have two ingress and egress.
Right.
It's in the back. The point of that condition, pardon me, the point of that condition is that this home is to give all the appearances of a single-family residence so that the neighborhood, so it doesn't look like there are two-family dwellings throughout this residential neighborhood. So you can have that entrance because it is your second means of ingress and egress, but you ought not make it appear as a separate entrance to a separate unit because that would not be consistent with looking like a single-family dwelling, okay?
You understand, Mr. Hernandez?
I do.
And you indicated only one gas meter, electric meter, and only one mailbox. Is that the case?
Yes.
Okay, to keep it that way, okay? Okay. Let me just go through a few things here. As you know, Mr. McKevitt, the Board of Architectural Review reviews each application for a mother, daughter, or immediate family residence and determines whether or not the residence is suitable to be used in this fashion and suitable to revert back to a single-family residence at the cessation of such use. In this case, the Board of Architectural Review determined that it is suitable to be used in this fashion and that it is suitable to revert back to a mother-daughter residence. So that's just something I need to put on the record. What else what else, is there anything else you'd like to say at this time?
Not at this time, Madam Chair.
Okay, so, and none of the other folks who signed in with the applicant need to speak at this time?
No, they are
Okay.
just the father of Mr. Hernandez and his wife, and they are
Okay.
not testifying today, just myself, Mr. Hernandez.
Okay, so Ms. Reed, why don't we have you step up to the podium? Can we get, yeah,
Yeah.
we got to get you sworn in and, oh, I apologize. You can stay there, Ms. Reed.
Mr. Hernandez, when you bought the house and you installed this kitchen illegally, who installed it? Was it done by a licensed plumber, licensed electrician? Who did the work?
Yeah, it was a plumber and license and electrician.
No, because, I know you're contrite about this, but we have rules and regulations here, and we're trying to not have a situation where you have a fire, where there's something bad happens. So I would hope that if we consider your application, that you follow the rules of the town of Hempstead, please, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Plummer.
Thank you, Mr. Plummer.
I have a,
Yes, Ms. Pellegrini.
the shed roof line seems to, it's 5 inches from the next door neighbor.
Yes, it is.
Is there water runoff from the roof that goes onto the neighbor's property? And does this require a gutter to be put on?
No.
Not to Mr. Hernandez's knowledge, but I suppose we'll hear from the neighbor in just a moment, so.
There's a picture right here. Okay, is there anything else, any other questions from the board at this time? I apologize for forgetting about you. Okay, Ms. Reed, we'll get you sworn in and hear what you have to say.
Yes, I do. My name is Kathleen Reed, Kathleen, Reed, R-E-E-D. I reside at 2089 Briggs Street, Belmore, New York, 11710.
Good morning, Ms. Reed.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, why don't you just tell us what you want us to know? You can pull that a little closer if it's easier.
Thanks.
Your choice.
Why I'm here is several of the residents have concerns. I'm here to speak on behalf of them. They couldn't be here or they were nervous about being here. My house is directly north of his house. The concerns we have is that the history is that he does things and then asks for forgiveness or permission. They omitted that the apartment downstairs was illegally rented out. The rear entrance was being used as access, and the front, when you go in his house, there is a stairs that go up and down. If you go down, you can go into the garage or you can go into the lower living space. And that entrance had key lock separation when it was.
Hold on. When I walk in your front door, can I go down some stairs?
Yes.
Okay, that was what we just went through before, right?
There are stairs that go up to the first level and then down to the first, stairs go up to the second level and down to the first level.
So
But-
there's a landing when
Right.
you walk in the house.
Yes.
And there's stairs to the right
That go down.
that go down. Not a full basement
No.
level, or not a full level.
No.
And there's stairs on that landing that I can go up to a living space as well.
Correct, yes.
Okay. But the stairs going down from the entrance go down to what was converted from a garage to a, let's see, first floor, they're backwards. Those stairs that go down, see, that was, if I walk in and I go, Becky, maybe I'm just dense, but I'm still confused here because I understand this.
All right.
If you go down, you go to the living room.
All right, so when you come in the front door, it's okay right here. You know, there are stairs on this side, there's, tell me how this is accurate or not, tell me what's going on here.
Yeah, it is. As soon as you go up,
This is the first floor. All right, so you come in, so,
there's 3 steps going down and 3 steps going up.
okay, so the left-hand side, 3 steps going down, the right-hand side, 3 steps going right, okay. It's a living room, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's a average.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, the drawing is wrong. That's why it's so confusing.
Mr. Hernandez explained to me, when you go in, there's a landing, the 3 steps that go down, 3 steps that go up. On the left-hand side are the 3 steps that go down. On the right-hand side are 3 steps that go up.
Right, it's the drawings.
Right.
Okay, so when I go in and go down, is that door, there's a door at the top of those stairs?
Yes.
When I walk in the front door? Okay, and then what? That door has or had a lock on it in the past?
Yes.
Okay, does it still? Okay, and when I went down those stairs, Mr. McKevitt, that would put me on what we're calling the first floor, right?
Correct.
And that's the floor that has the garage converted to what is here called storage. Is that correct? Okay.
Correct.
So in terms of what's down there, one moment. Sorry, Joe.
That's okay.
There is, I go down and there's a bedroom, a kitchen, a living room, a full bath, another bedroom, and another large storage room where the garage used to be.
Yes.
And that storage room also has a closet. Okay. So this is where you intend for your father to live.
Yes, correct.
Does he live there now?
Yes.
Okay. How long has he lived there?
We bought the house.
Okay. And there's not been a tenant down. Go ahead, Mr. McKevitt.
What he said?
Guarantee those are the first ones.
His father has been there since the beginning. His father continues to be there.
And it's a fairly large apartment. Your father lives there alone?
Yes.
Okay. And why was there a door lock previously and not now if it was always him?
So at one point earlier on, there was another tenant that was living in there, and that's the reason why the door lock was there. The tenant is gone. The door lock's been removed. It's only his father down there today.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Reed. Keep going.
Okay, so as soon as they moved in, they started construction, which was about 2 years ago. They started construction of downstairs, which appeared that they were going to be making it an apartment. I have the same layout in my house. When you come in the front door, you go either up or you go downstairs. There's a door that gives you access to the garage, or then there is a big family room, which has a separate little room that I currently use as my work office, and a bathroom. So I saw they were doing construction on the site, and then short time afterwards, a young female with her daughter who attended our school system lived there, and possibly her mother. I cannot 100% say her mother, but I did see her mother there frequently enough that I thought she lived there. They parked, and that was a problem then because of the parking in the street, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. It's a residential street, but we go near Belmore Avenue, so a lot of people will park on our street to access the businesses. But anyway, getting back to the other, she lived there. She just recently moved out because I spoke to her. I wished her luck. She was a nice person, and her daughter was pleasant. Her mother I never had any interactions with, but I know a person across the street that owns the house had words with her regarding parking situations. But she just recently moved out because they were going to Pennsylvania. They got a place in Pennsylvania. So if the father lived there, he did not live there the whole time downstairs.
If the board is inclined to grant this application, number one, the premises will be inspected every 3 years and renewed every 3 years to ensure that the people who live there are the people who are allowed to live there.
That's our concerns. All the residents, we're family oriented. We understand if the father has issues and he wants to live there. I take care of my mother that's going to be 106, so I understand that.
Bless.
Our concerns are that in the past he has done things that he wanted to. The town came. I actually spoke to the town. They came. He refused them access at the time that the tenant was downstairs.
I think with a mother-daughter, if you get approved, you have to allow access if the inspector comes. So that's a help.
That is one of our concerns. I wanted to know that he cannot deny access because
Right.
we are concerned that maybe on paper he's going to have his father and his father will continue to live upstairs and not be downstairs because there was ads at the time that he was looking for around $3,000 for the apartment. So, I'm sorry.
I apologize, Council. for the
So our
board assistant.
concerns are is that this is smoke and mirrors. The father will continue to live upstairs. He'll rent downstairs. And once again, we'll have the issue of it being a rental house and
We
not.
understand. It's not something we haven't seen before, believe me. So a couple things. In addition to the inspection that happens every 3 years, you also, obviously, in most cases where the board or the town of Hempstead discovers someone is not doing what they promised to do and what they're allowed to do, is because someone calls enforcement and lets us know and the inspector goes out. In addition, if he doesn't allow entrance for inspection, then his mother-daughter will be revoked. Or, oh, yeah, I wasn't sure about when the ticket gets issued. Is it a summons or is it a potential violation?
David?
Closer. This is one of our most seasoned people from the building department.
The applicant signs an affidavit stating that they will allow the building department inspection at any time. If they do not allow an inspection, then we will issue a ticket immediately and the permit is null and void.
Is that on the first denial? Or maybe, I understand if no one's home.
We always try
Give it
to
a couple times.
accommodate the applicant. We don't automatically give a ticket, but
And that's the case regardless of whether it's the 3-year anniversary inspection or whether someone is called? Okay.
Correct.
So I think we kind of have that covered, especially if the neighbors are keeping track and letting us know. And then we have the periodic, because obviously someone could figure out how to beat the periodics if it's routine, but
And then the other issue is my property is directly next to the shed. He put a cement foundation and put the shed up instead of going through the proper channels. It appears that if he does move it to where he should move it, I think it's going to be on his cement patio that he has. So that might have been part of the restrictions why he did what he wanted to and put it right on the close to the property line.
And I suppose you learned that the shed needed a permit when you filed for this and the inspector came out. That's very common.
I had also, I don't know if the town documented, but I had also made them aware of the shed.
Oh, okay.
What's your other objections to the shed other than he did it without a permit? Because that's what he's here for now.
Right, well, it's just the history of I guess, the shed is up. To be honest with you, it's there. I won't harass. It's just showing a history of no concern for the proper way of doing things. I took a tree down in front of my house. I got the permit for the tree. I got the permit for the sidewalk work. It's just that we really are nervous that he's going to start. There was more traffic on the street with the cars. It was dangerous pulling in and out of driveways. And when you rent, you really don't know who's coming and going in the neighborhood. And a lot of people are on the verge of selling, and you don't want the property values to decrease.
100%. Okay. I take it, Mr. McKevitt, that your client understands the significance of a pattern of doing things before, asking for forgiveness instead of permission. So I take it that will end now that he has found you.
He has found me, and I think the board knows the reputation for his board. I make sure my clients are in compliance. If there are any issues, I gave Ms. Reed my card. If there's any issue whatsoever, please call me, and I will do everything with my power to make sure it's compliance. And if not, he's got to find another lawyer, and make that very, very clear. I think you do things properly. Things are done incorrectly in the past. We're here to resolve them now, and making very clear to Mr. Hernandez that there are very important rules here with the mother and daughter, and that includes the fact that there's going to be a renewal in 3 years if this board accepts it. And if any time the Town of Hempstead Building Department of Buildings wants inspection of this house, you are to grant them access to the house. Do you understand, Mr. Hernandez? You understand that before you began today, you swore an oath to tell the truth before this board. You understand that?
I do.
And you're saying, yes, you'll allow the building department into the house?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And no, don't put the lock back on the door, please. Okay. Thank you, Mr. McKevitt.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Ms. Reed, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, that is all. If there is a problem, I will go directly to the town again.
Thank you, Ms. Reed. All right, are there any other questions from the board members? And if not, is there a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on a decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second? All in favor? Thank you. You will get a copy of the decision, Ms. Reed, as soon as it's rendered, whatever that is. Thank you. All right, folks, have a nice day. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Next, we have case 47225 near Island Park, Alexander Buzetta. Special exception to maintain two-story shed with stairs higher and larger and exceeds horizontal maximum with less than required side yard setback and more than required rear yard setback, also known as 240 California Place South. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do. Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. For the record, my name is Todd O'Connell, architect doing business at 1200 Veterans Highway, Hauppauge, New York, representing Alexander Buzetta in her application to maintain her two-story shed with a staircase. Alrighty.
Have you been to the property?
Yes, I have.
Inside the two-story shed?
Inside, it is strictly storage. He has a boat. He lives across from the water where they have the boat, and that's where he keeps all his storage, all his toys. And it's in that area.
You'll probably cover it, but is it heated and air conditioning?
No.
Is it unfinished?
It's an unfinished attic space strictly for storage.
So I go up there and I'll just see studs on the wall, no insulation.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a prefab, one of these prefab things that were just plopped on the property. He wasn't aware for a shed that he would need a permit. He found out he needed a permit when he was, doing an addition to his home and filing all the proper permits for an addition, and it came up, and obviously that's why we're before you today.
Mr. O'Connell?
Yes.
There are a lot of photographs here of the shed, but if it's only studs, I just don't understand why there's not an interior photograph. Like, there's 6 photographs of...
I could take interior photographs for you.
Okay, well, no, keep going.
Understood. All the cases I've ever done, I've never taken interior photographs, so I guess.
But you understand Mrs. D'Amato's...
I do understand
Yeah,
where you're coming
interior
from.
photographs
Absolutely.
Of, some
Absolutely.
things aren't material necessarily, but second story on a shed, which in my 20 years here, I don't know, have we ever had a second story shed with stairs? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is a unique, situation, but being on the water, when you don't have basement storage is a premium.
Is your client here by any chance?
No.
Okay, keep going, Mr. O'Connell.
Okay. The setback relief is strictly because of the staircase that goes to that second floor. That is on the rear of the shed, or it's a corner lot, so it also could be considered the side. But the interior of the second floor itself, at the highest point to the ridge, it's 6 foot 10 inches. But it's a Dutch colonial style roof to it. So every part of that second floor is under a pitched roof, but there is a very small section in the center where is correct 610, just at the very, very peak.
And what is the overall height on the exterior of the shed? Can you give us just the shed numbers, the height, the larger?
16 foot 7 inches.
And what are the horizontals and what's the overall size?
The overall size of it is 18 foot 3 inches.
Square feet.
Yes.
Okay.
$10 foot by 18, so 180 square feet.
Okay, I'm sorry, 10 by what, 18?
18.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. This shed was done by a prefab company, I guess, Wonderbar Structures. So it was, a prefab structure that was delivered on site. It actually even came with the staircase. I have a picture of the actual drawings from the prefab company.
When it came, did the pieces come and your client put it together, or?
Usually it comes as pieces, yes.
Is that what happened?
Of these, yes, correct. So, we understand we're asking for a lot, being a shed and everything, but the need for it is quite important. Just, again, being on the water, storage is a premium, as you don't have basements, and he does use it for all his boat toys, which are, directly across the street. So this is an important structure for his, to keep everything inside instead of out in front of his property.
Okay, I'm just trying to, does Does your client own the lot next door? Or
No.
Two-story frame with garage. There are notations on here about a senior residence. They're small and I can't make them all out because, I can't reconcile them. One notation says senior residence, and it has what appears to be a permit number. Then it says a different note that says illegal kitchen sink removal with a permit number. That seems like it's 2018. The other one was 2001. So then 2018, illegal kitchen sink removal, and then the numbers are messed up. Then it says maintain kitchen sink, ground floor, senior residence, but the what it otherwise would be the number, it doesn't have the year number in it.
What are you referring to, actually?
On the plans, page C1. Or is this a site plan? Yeah. Oh, it's a plot plan. C1. There's a lot going on here.
Oh, you're talking about on the site plan, yes. Where this all came, as I mentioned to you, as a part of a much larger expansion to the home. And these are all the permits that were filed. This came up, the shed came up as we were properly filing everything else on the home.
So is there a senior residence at the home?
There is no senior residence on the home.
And you said you were inside the home?
Yes, I was,
And
on several occasions.
how many floors are in the home?
It's a split-level house, so depending on how you want to
Is
call
it the
the
one where
floors.
there's a down, a middle piece,
Correct.
and a up?
Correct, split
Okay.
level.
And where was the senior residence, if you know?
I do not know.
'Cause that looks like, yeah, the notation for the number is messed up. But the other ones where there's, the illegal sink removal was 2018.
The senior residence expired in 2018, and a plumbing permit was taken out in 2018 to remove the kitchen.
Yeah, and this is long before I was involved in the project.
Right, how long has your client owned the house? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay. So right now, in the house, is there only one kitchen?
That is correct.
And before us now, you're just here to legalize the shed. Hold on. All right.
That is correct.
Let me just.
Excuse me, Chairman, I have a question. You said there's an inside staircase?
No, an outside staircase.
Oh, the outside staircase.
That's correct, which
Okay.
is, you can see in the picture that
Oh, I can see that. I
right.
was wondering if there's inside too.
no internal staircase.
Okay, so if it was the second level, there is like a little attic place.
That's correct.
What if you didn't have that outside staircase? So let's say you just bought
Yeah.
that, you put it in there.
He would need to put a hole in the ceiling and create some sort of an attic access, and I did talk with him about that. And his only issue was that when it's full, he'll never be able to get to the top to store all his toys.
So
Because
how much stuff is in the top? What kind of toys are in the top?
it's all boat storage. If you're familiar with boating, it usually comes with a lot of area that you need to store things.
Well, when he purchased it, how did he think he was going to get to that second level?
Well, again, it came with the kit actually came with the stair and everything.
With that huge staircase? on
Yeah,
the
I
top?
actually have the drawings from the prefab company that shows it with the stair, all as a
Yeah,
a
but
kit.
that's not really, so he selected a kit that had that.
Exactly.
Still,
Yeah.
it's not an accident.
Understood, yes.
So on the,
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
I haven't finished. Can you submit those drawings, please?
Can I?
Submit the drawings that show that this is the way the kit came?
Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely.
okay, we'll accept those into evidence. Yeah, go ahead. Ms. Adams, are you finished? or
From
no?
my,
Okay.
sir, from my perspective, a two-story shed is a pretty big ask, and so let's say we were sympathetic, but having that staircase, as Mrs. Adams just said, is really going over the line. Would your client consent to taking the staircase out and putting one of those attic doors or whatever to get up there? And if he can't store as much stuff as he wants to now, so be it, like as a compromise.
I did speak with him about that. and he said he would, agree to removing that staircase. Again, his issue with the interior ceiling access was just to be able to get to that second floor. He asked me if that was the case, would he be able to at least keep the door where he could put a ladder when he needs to access it from the outside?
From my perspective, just if I was a neighbor and having that staircase out there,
Sure.
it's a little much, and we're trying to accommodate him, but if he was willing to compromise on that in our deliberations, that's something we could take into consideration,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I apologize, I didn't hear the whole statement Mr. Plumer asked, but is it possible to put interior stairs on that structure? It is.
A pull-down hatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's, I spoke with my client. He said, the storage is the most critical aspect of it. If he has to remove the stairs, he will.
Mr. O'Connell, so I'm just trying to reconcile because I noticed that there was this application on the permit for this second floor addition. So I asked Ms. First to pull up the plans for that. I guess that's a ride along here. So it's not before us, but in the plans that appear in the building department, there's 2 kitchens.
Correct, and that I show in my plan, correct.
Well, okay. If you're asking for a second kitchen, why isn't it before us?
He's not. He's removing the second kitchen.
I thought that was removed in 2018.
That's, again, I'm not sure if it was, I wasn't involved in 2018, so.
Ms. First, do we know if they're proposing 2 kitchens, but that should have come before us.
It's proposing 2 now?
No.
So is part of your plan that under the building permit that was issued to remove the other kitchen? Because it's not showing that it's being removed.
I don't think it is. That other kitchen's like a little kitchen apartment. Yeah, Becky showed it. It's
No.
like what it is.
Nope.
This whole long section.
Mhm.
There's, so there's a kitchen in the house here. The heck did this get?
I'm going to advise the plan examiner to suspend the building permit for the second story addition as it appears that it was issued in error.
Okay, so that'll have to be dealt with separately.
Absolutely.
All right, so is there anything else you wish to add about?
That would conclude.
Okay, are there any other questions from the board? And if not, is there a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second.
Thank you very much.
All in favor? Thank you, Mr. O'Connell.
You're very welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Next, we have case 47325, West Hempstead, John A. Lenardi III, variance, lot area occupied, maintained addition, enclosed porch and deck all attached to dwelling, also known as 610 Park Avenue. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Michael Palumba, architect, 80 Elizabeth Drive, Bethpage, New York, 11714.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman, members of the board. I'm appearing on behalf of John Leonardi III of 610 Park Avenue, West Hempstead, New York. We are requesting a variance to maintain an existing one-story addition, enclosed porch converted to habitable space, and raised wood deck with steps to grade, which is located in a B residence zone and exceeds the maximum lot coverage or area occupied of 27.5%, maintaining a lot area of 38.6%. The existing addition, together with the enclosed porch and deck, were constructed in 1988. There is no intention of roofing over or enclosing the existing deck in any way, and we would have no objection with the board conditioning the application as such if approved. We have also obtained permits for the existing fencing and AC units, and we are presently coordinating the required building inspections to close out these permits. John Leonardi is the executor of his parents' estate and has recently sold the property and has money held in escrow pending the issuance of the required permits and COs for these structures. Prior to today's hearing, we did meet with several neighbors regarding our application, and there were no objections. The property is well maintained, and the existing structures are consistent with the surrounding neighborhood, and that completes our application.
Mr. Palumbo, if the board were inclined to approve this matter, would your client agree to a condition that the deck never be enclosed any further in the future?
Yes.
I didn't get it up. Can that garage be accessed? Can you drive a car down there and put it in the garage? Is there any encumbrances in that?
Yeah, no, the garage can be accessed by a car. The width allows for a car to go to that garage.
But I don't know whether or not there's any structures or.
No, there's a clear path. There's a clear path to that garage.
You've been there.
I've been there. I pulled up into that driveway. I actually parked towards the end of the house. I could have went to the garage if I wanted to.
Are there any other questions from the board? If not, is there a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Thank you very much.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Mr. Palumbo.
Well, the garage is way in the back.
This is the signage sheet from.
Okay. You know what,
Next, we have case 47425, Wantaw Peter and Lauren Janek. Variance, a front yard setback on Jackson Avenue, maintain open porch attached dwelling, also known as 3419 Jackson Avenue. Sir, please stand. Raise your right hand.
thank you.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Please take a seat. State your name and address for the record.
Good morning, distinguished board, Madam Chairperson, congratulations. My name is Michael Degnan. I'm a registered architect and a principal at Long Island Architecture Studio, located at 1943 Wantaw Avenue in Wantaw, New York. I'm representing our clients this morning, Peter and Lauren Janis, who have owned the subject property, 3419 Jackson Avenue in Wantaw, for approximately 12 years. They have 3 young children attending Seaford Public Schools. The subject is a corner property that is non-conforming Zone B. Our request this morning is for a front yard setback for a pre-existing.
Why is it not conforming?
Oh, because maybe not. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but the property is only 50 feet deep.
Substandard.
Substandard.
Okay.
Apologies for the mischaracterization.
No worries.
Thank you. The request this morning is for a front yard setback for a pre-existing brick patio. The open patio that does not have a roof over. It does have a wrought iron rail. It's 4.2 feet deep and 6.8 feet wide, and it is 24 inches high off the finished grade. By estimate on the construction methods and the condition patina of the brick, the small structure is at least 25 years old, in our opinion, possibly much more. The existing front yard setback of the house itself is 20.1 feet, and the patio is 16.3 feet. With current landscaping, the patio is barely visible from the street. We appreciate your consideration for this small structure as having precedence for approval in similar situations and of the de minimis nature of this request.
Okay, sir, as I asked the prior applicant, if the board were to consider approving the porch and the porch, I guess, would your client accept a condition that it not be further enclosed?
They would, yes.
So at that point, the enclosed structure, if I understand correctly, would have a 20.1 setback versus the 25, right? The portion of the home that's enclosed.
Yes.
We would only be looking at an enclosed structure going 5 feet into the setback. And then the porch would remain unenclosed.
The existing house is 20 point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if you had a photograph handy, you would see how small and.
We're looking at it here.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, thank you.
Are there any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second. All in favor? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Next, we have cases 476 through 47725, Seaford, Gleywason Rodriguez. Variance, lot area occupied, maintain roof over patio, attached dwelling, special exception to maintain shed higher and larger than permitted and exceeding horizontal maximum on two sides. Also known as 1442 Joyce Lane. Swear from tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so you got? Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Lisa Koshia with Permits R Us, 338 Jericho Turnpike, number 396, Syosset, New York, 11791.
Good morning, Ms. Kachia.
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman and members of the board. I'm here representing Mr. Rodriguez, who wishes to maintain a roof over patio and a shed. This property is located in a Residence B zone. The roof over patio has a lot coverage of 9.4%, putting the total lot coverage at 34.4%, where the required is 27.5%.
I'm sorry, what was that final number?
The final number is 34.4%.
34.4. Okay.
The shed has a horizontal max of 16.25 feet, where 12 feet is allowed, and is 12.7 feet high, where 9 feet is allowed. We spoke to the neighbors directly affected on either side, and no one has any objections. Mr. Rodriguez respectfully requests your approval.
I apologize. I'm slow writing here. So the shed is overall 166.56. Is that the size of the square footage of the shed? Where the 144 is allowable?
The wood shed is 166.56, correct.
Okay, and then I noticed, it's not before us, but I guess there was recently an outdoor kitchen with a barbecue installed, which again, I know is not before us, but on the building area calculations, it doesn't include that number, but it does note that it's under the rear roof over. So is that because it's already included in the lot area occupied as part of the what's under the roof? I mean, since we're dealing with lot area, that's the only reason I'm asking. Lot area occupied.
The outdoor kitchen with the barbecue is actually on the other side of the house under a different section.
Right. My only question was, because we're addressing lot area occupied, on the building area chart on the plot plan, when it says outside kitchen with barbecue, 50 square feet, but it doesn't give us a foot in terms of calculating the total lot coverage, but it does note that it's under the rear roof over. So I assume that the rear roof over patio, see the one that says 567.18? I'm assuming the reason the lot area we're using here doesn't include the kitchen is because it's already in. Is that right, Ms. First? Okay, great. So we have 34.4 versus 27.5.
Correct.
And I didn't get, I got the numbers on the shed. Is there anything else you wish to add?
No, thank you.
Closed out too.
Do you guys have any?
No.
Are there any other questions from the board? And if not, is there a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second. All in favor? Thank you, Ms. Kachia.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Ms. Kachia, it's back on the record. If we were inclined to approve the patio, would your client accept a condition that it not be further enclosed? Thank you.
Next, we have case 47825, Lido Beach, Brandon Kemper. Maintain a 6-foot-high pool enclosure forward of the dwelling, supplement of case number 17424, also known as 25 Saratoga Street. affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Please take a seat. Name and address for the record.
Good morning. My name is Cole Gartmayer from Long Island Perfect Permits, 124 Front Street, Suite 205, Massapequa Park, New York, 11762. An agent representing Brandon Kemper, owner of 25 Saratoga Street, Lido Beach, New York, Section 60, Block 25, Lot 158. An application was filed to install a pool and fencing in the side yard. The case number 172-24 was presented to this board and the pool was approved. The fence was not approved. The fence proposed under case 142-24 was requested to project to along the front to the front property line, excuse me. The depth of this property is 65 feet. After the pool was installed, the pool company installed the fence 5 feet past the front of the dwelling because there was only about 1 foot from the pool's edge to the fence. After touring the neighborhood, we feel that this is a minor request, is not out of character for the neighborhood. My client spoke to the surrounding neighbors who had not expressed issue with this variance being granted.
Sir, when your client came before the board and the fence was denied forward to the dwelling, was the pool at that time exactly where it was later installed?
Correct, yes. So the pool location did not shift. I think it was at the time they didn't really understand that there wouldn't be as ample room along the backside where the fence is. And go ahead.
Once the fence was denied forward of the dwelling, did somebody redraw the plans for the outside area? We have them before us now.
As far as I know, the only change was the fence location from the previous application. The pool, everything was installed exactly where it was. The only thing that was not matching was the fence location where it is currently installed today.
So nothing really changed other than that?
Correct.
Okay. So since the board has already passed on this matter, I'm not sure that we aren't barred by res judicata in terms of us already making a determination, and nothing, as you said, nothing else changed, so there's not new information for us to change our decision. If the pool's in the same location as it was when they came before us and everything else remains the same, we just denied a fence and they put it in anyway. I'm not even sure what options we have. We'll have to have counsel look into that. You can finish giving us whatever information you want to give us.
Yeah, and I mean, to my knowledge, it was just, I believe that the fence was initially just proposed. When I say that the fence was not approved, I'm referring to the current location it's in was not approved with the initial application.
But that's the location that it came to us for.
That was how it initially, okay, yeah, I mean, as far as I'm aware, this was just at the time when they installed the fence. They just felt like it was too close to the pool. So we are, again, just seeking approval. We don't see any sightline or safety issues with where the fence is currently located. We feel that these, reliefs are not out of character for the neighborhood. We respectfully, would request the board.
But again, where they ended up putting the fence, that was the place they had originally wanted it.
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure. I did not present the original case when it came before this board. So as far as whether it was, again, if the insinuation is that their intention was to always have it in this location, to my knowledge, that's not what it was. It was, again, just they felt that there was not enough clearance along that back fence and everything.
Okay. No, I wasn't trying to insinuate anything other than understanding the situation and how it had come to this point. So, okay.
If your client was originally granted the pool with the modification of the fence not being approved on May 1st, 2024, then on May 15th, 2024, your client asked for a rehearing to allow the modification, which I assume is what's before us now. That was denied by the board. So your client had the alternative to file a new application, which is why you're here today.
The original fence, to my understanding, was proposed all the way to the front property line. So while what we're here before today is, again, it is modified from that stance. It's not all the way to the front property line. We are pushing it back. Again, as far as a safety concern goes or anything along those lines, I mean, this fence does not pose any safety issues in terms of sight lines, in terms of anything along those, that at all. So.
I understand, and I think the board members also understand. The thing is that it was done contrary to the board's decision. Here you are.
And here I am.
What's the inconvenience other than moving the fence back? It's too close to the pool?
Yeah, essentially it's going to be too close to the pool. You're going to have really only a foot of clearance along that back side of the pool for them to use it. That I think would potentially lend itself to more of a safety issue than its current location.
Yes, unfortunately, they knew that when they went ahead and installed the pool where they did. But we will certainly go through the record. And is there anything else you wish to add?
No, not at this time.
Any other questions from the board? If not, is there a motion?
I move the hearing be closed. The case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. Thank you. Have a good day.
Next, we have cases 47925 through 48125, Wantaw, Anthony and Maria Di Benedetto, and Eric S. and Christina L. Corsini. Variance to maintain senior residence. Each separate dwelling area exceeds 800 square feet in total floor space. Variances, lot area occupied, side yard, maintain addition attached dwelling. Variance, lot area occupied, maintain wood deck attached dwelling, also known as 909 Viceroy Road. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so we got?
I do.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board.
Hi, Ms. Pangallo.
I'm representing Anthony and Maria Di Benedetto and Eric and Christina Corsini of 909 Viceroy Road in Wantaw. The property is located on the south side of Viceroy Road, 421.70 feet south of Dunhill Road in the LPRD district. We're requesting a variance to maintain a senior residence application over 800 square feet allowed, an addition attached to the dwelling that violates the side yard setback and the lot area occupied, and a deck that violates the lot area occupied. The maximum square footage for a senior residence is 800 square feet. The square footage in the primary dwelling is 2,567 square feet, and the accessory apartment is 1,955 square feet. The house originally was approved as a mother-daughter in 2010 for the previous homeowner. The Di Benedetto specifically purchased this home so that there would be enough room for himself, his wife, their daughter, her husband, and their 3 children. Since he's over 65, he filed for a senior residence use permit after he took possession of the home.
When was that?
That was in 2019, and the application was filed in 2020. And then we've been kind of working on some additional things he had to file for, and now we're here.
5 years?
Yeah. Well, we had COVID. Yeah, I'm kidding. But, and he has been made aware that this permit only applies to them, and if the house is sold or circumstances change, the kitchen must be removed by a licensed plumber and a plumbing permit required. They're also aware that this will be renewed by the building department and a complete inspection of the home will be made. The addition violates the side yard setback of 5 feet. The side yard provided is 2 feet. The maximum lot coverage allowed is 30%, and the lot coverage provided is 30.3%. The vestibule is an addition that was not part of the previous owner's mother-daughter permit and variance, but it was existing when the house was purchased in 2019. The deck violates the lot coverage allowed of 30%, and the lot coverage provided is 30.3. As you can see from the photos, the house is very well maintained. It is a big home on a nice piece of property, and it served their family well. I'd like to submit a letter from the neighbor next door at 93 Vice, who has no objections to the board granting this variance,
We'll accept that into evidence, Mrs. Pangello.
and we're
Who
respectfully
got the
asking the board
signature?
to grant the variance.
Who took the letter to get the signature of the neighbor?
The homeowner.
Okay, I will accept that into evidence. Ms. Pangello, which unit does the dad and the wife, I guess, which unit does the daughter, husband, 3 kids live in?
The secondary unit.
The 1955?
Right.
And in the larger unit, who lives in that?
That's the husband and the wife.
The parents of the
Correct.
girl. I see there's a large deck. If the board were to approve this case, would your clients accept a condition that it not ever be further enclosed?
Absolutely.
And when you say that, so the addition we're here for is not the 2-story addition, but rather the vestibule?
Correct.
And only the vestibule?
Correct.
And the deck? And to approve the large senior residence?
It's a big house, yeah.
Okay.
The, under your permit search, it shows an application filed in 2020. Maintain second kitchen for senior residents for use for a period of more than 2 years without verification.
Right.
So was the building department chasing your client to let us in, and?
No, not at all. It was, they did a pool, they changed the deck around, so we had to refile plans on the deck. The homeowner has been very cooperative. It's not a matter of that. It's just different applications that were filed that kind of took its time at I understand it's a long time.
Well, the pool was filed in 2010, and that's closed out. This is 10 years.
Well, that pool's been removed, and then there's a built-in pool that was done in, I guess it was 2020. Yes.
Yes, what?
That's right, it was 2000. I thought the pool was in I thought it was later than 2020, but you're right.
So your client understands that if the board grants this, you're subject to the building department requirements, that they do their inspections.
Yes.
Okay, take over, Becky.
Let's see. Okay. All right, let me see. First floor.
5 years without a permit, like, they're saying that it's a second kitchen in senior residence.
Didn't she say, Ms. Bangallo, didn't you say it was originally a mother-daughter or something?
Yes, the previous owners had a mother-daughter permit.
So it was in that.
But aren't they required to take that out when they sell the house?
Take it out. Yeah, they're supposed to, but.
My question was that the second kitchen's been in there for the last 5 years without a permit?
That's correct.
Okay, that's what I did. I know when they bought it, it was a mother-daughter, and they were supposed to take the kitchen out and or whoever, I'm not blaming your client. So in other words, this kitchen's been there for 5 years?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
But he has been litigating it for 5 years. I mean, he has been trying, apparently.
Yeah.
I was just trying to
No,
understand,
I'm with
'cause
you.
we hear
No.
people say it's got to be reverted back to
It's-
the mother.
No, you're right.
Cat and mouse.
But it doesn't really happen.
No.
That's true too. Exactly.
It's probably Residence A zone.
No, I don't have the second page. Oh, wait, there we go.
I don't know.
Joe.
So here's the second floor. Their whole entire reversion plan has to do with opening up the first floor. They need to open up here for their reversion plan. Because, see how this separation, they have two separate staircases. So they're gonna need to open up the second floor so that you can continually.
So we need to have them file an amended reversion plan.
Correct.
Okay.
But we don't have one in here, a reversion plan.
So should we wait?
No.
It's not gonna harm them, it's a maintain.
Can we grant it with conditions that a reversion plan be submitted to the building department? Yeah.
Hold on, Miss
Your discretion.
Ms. Pangallo, can I have Miss First show you what we're gonna need you to do? Miss First, can you show Miss Pangallo, please?
So we should either hold it.
That's what I said, but then you said grant it with,
I just like to get rid of the paperwork. Let Becky decide.
I'm not worried about Ms. Pangallo, do what I think.
Okay.
And since it's
No,
just paper.
I know, but she's got her compliance.
But the thing is, it's not changing anything physically. So it's not as big a Okay, Ms. Pangallo, as Ms. First has shown you, the reversion plan that was on file should have reflected that the two separate living units have some way to go between them, be opened up upon reversion to a single-family residence. So we're going to ask you, you and or your clients to please file with the board or with the building department an amended reversion plan that shows it properly being opened up once this use ceases. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, and now with that, are there any other questions from the board? And if not, is there a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second? All in favor? All right, Ms. Pangallo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have an afternoon. Probably see you again. Okay, yeah. Patrick, let's take a 10-minute recess so our court reporter can rest her hands and get her blood flow back. And we'll resume in about 10 minutes. All right, Stephanie, is 10 enough? Sure? Okay. Thank you.
And it's a straight run. It's not. There's my house, then there's a park, and then the southern state.
What up, people? What's going on?
Motorcycle.
Oh my God. Like, the beginning of school.
I know you were looking for me. I hope it's not about this doctor. Good. Yeah. Hopefully we're next. But he never got off the dime. Okay. Well, I'll talk. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah, I just want the signing sheet. In the back? 276. Oh, got it. Is it next, Dawn? Are we up to that?
Renewals first. There were a couple of second calls. Those should be quick.
Got
It's gonna be whatever.
No problem.
We didn't have a permit. We never got immediate approval because after we did here, this, we had to have the Cedars. And we got the Cedars approval, so it was like 4 months. We had to wait 4 months. So once we got that approval, then we started working on it. Have all the drawings done.
And they're saying
because of that.
the code here is the variance
No. So we requested an extension.
Oh, okay.
They granted it, but then they said that it's only granted until well, there's 20 minutes. I said, I want to do another extension. No, you have to rehear it. Well, rehear it? That's ridiculous. It's not legal anywhere. You can't have an unwritten policy. What?
What do you mean? It's the town of Hempstead. He says you can't have unwritten policies here. That's what.
Who said that? Unwritten policies as far as
This
what?
is the town. Anything. This is the town of Hempstead. Of course you have unwritten policies.
It's true.
It's the name of the
I don't
game.
care. I'm leaving in March. I'm done.
Really?
I'm done.
Where are you going?
I'm retiring.
No, where are you going?
Florida.
Where?
Delray Beach, where my house is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm done.
Beats once.
My son goes to school there too, so.
Okay. What's he going to school for?
He's going for accounting.
Okay.
And then he wants to go to law school.
Good for him.
So we'll see if he makes it that
Yeah,
far.
right.
You know, it's not
Unless
an
they
easy
have
task.
AI lawyers in a few years from now.
It's not an easy task,
How old is he now?
but we'll see. 20.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Shabbat salah.
So thank you. He's in his third year. He loves it.
That's great.
He's in Florida.
Who's
Weather's
supposed not to
nice
love
all
that
the
Florida?
time. Exactly.
So you get a hurricane once in a while.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Good.
So yeah, it's all good.
6 more months.
How's the baby?
It's crazy. Can't believe it.
This is my baby.
You
Playing Little League.
Yeah. I'm like actually.
He just turned 4 today.
Kind of like mentally done.
Isn't that
here.
cute?
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not saying my cutest
It's hard
kid,
to
but he's
believe
definitely
because
Yeah.
on this level. Today's his birthday.
Told my wife we have to do 4 more years, whatever, 4 or 5. You can
So
leave.
funny.
You could leave. Get the heck out of there.
Isn't it amazing how they have such
Oh,
personalities?
you-
How they go from like being babies and then all of a sudden they're just
My
like
oldest
personality.
just started at St. John's.
Okay. Nice.
He's living there.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he seems pretty
cute.
happy so far.
Okay, good.
And then my daughter is now in high school.
She looks like a. Where you as a kid?
And then the 2 younger ones.
Yeah, you used to have
okay.
littles, right?
Well,
Not
so
that
8th
far,
grade,
but
and then, yeah, I mean, my
middle school.
daughter, his youngest one, is
Thank you.
5th grade.
You can't see. He's blonde.
Is this your
4 of my 5 kids are blonde and blue
We'll
eyes.
see.
I'm brown and brown. People are like,
All right.
How long it all
these
lasts.
are not your kids. I'm like,
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, folks, we'll get started in just a minute. Okay, folks, before we start the 11 o'clock calendar, we have one or two quick renewals that were on second call. I guess really it's only, well, there's two with one representative, so let's call those first, and then we'll get on to the fun at 11 o'clock.
Okay. Will be second calling case 46625 Franklin Square, 711, number 23790. Renewal of grant to maintain one illuminated double-face, two-part detached sign, overall size 64 square feet, setback 5 feet from property lines, 20 feet in height, also known as 850 Hempstead Turnpike.
I don't know what they
Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth? Yourself you got. Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Make sure to speak loudly, please.
All right. Good morning. My name is Victor Ero. I'm representing 7-Eleven. Address is 3200 Huckleberry Road, Irving, Texas.
Good morning, sir.
No, actually, that's where our corporate office is. Usually it's handled by a different group, but they contacted me this morning to come here.
So you live in this area? I mean, you live here or you live in
I
Texas?
live in New York.
Oh, okay. And so you're from corporate?
Yes.
And we had someone in from corporate a week or two ago who had a certain jurisdiction, certain region area.
Yes.
And he could do the ones that were in his group, but there were other 7-Eleven renewals on at the time. And they weren't in his group. So as much as he wanted to help. So I just want to ask you, there are two here, 7-Elevens. Is this one that's ordinarily in your group or not?
Yes, the Franklin Square, yes.
Okay. All right. So why don't we go ahead and do the Franklin Square case, and then I'll probably ask you other questions about the other ones. So this is a renewal of the illuminated double-faced pylon sign. The building department inspected the premises on July 2nd of this year and found that the applicant was in compliance with all of the conditions that were previously imposed by this board. Is there anything else you wish to add at this time?
No.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the board? If not, is there a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on the decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will receive a notification.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, that's that case.
That notification is going to go to 3200 Hackberry Road in Irving, Texas.
Yes.
Is that where it should go?
Yes.
Okay.
You will not get a copy of that unless you go through.
Yeah, that team handles all of these.
Okay,
Usually
he's just
they come from
saying
Texas.
it's going to the address you signed in with.
Correct.
So
Okay.
exactly the issue I wanted to address. So do you know why it is? We've been having trouble with 7-Eleven corporate stores showing up for renewals. This is third, fourth time. One week we had multiple 7-Eleven cases on, and if there were 5, someone showed up for 2 of them. Where's the problem with the communication? If we're sending it to corporate and that's the proper place, can you please explain to us, or at least tell us somehow this problem's getting fixed so that you are aware you need to be here for the cases that are yours in the future?
Yes, I will have a conversation with the corporate property manager who's based in Irving. Usually he will come out, or he will have someone else come out to represent the organization. Today it couldn't happen. He called me and said, "Hey, listen, I need you to go up there today." So we'll have that addressed.
Yeah, because we don't want to have to start just revoking these grants. But, we've tried a couple times. We've given more orders to appear and they still didn't show up. So if you could fix this problem, at least for the stores that you're concerned about, that would be one step in the right direction for us so that this goes much more smoothly.
Absolutely. I'll give him a call this morning.
Thank you. And if you could let them know that it's not just the ones that are yours, apparently. It's a lot of the corporate stores all over Long Island, and we need that resolved. Thank you. Go ahead, Patrick.
Next will be, next will be second calling case 46825, Merrick 7-Eleven, number 27322, renewal of grant to maintain one detached double-face illuminated ground sign set back 4 feet from the side property line and 10 feet from front property line, also known as 1800 Merrick Avenue. Sorry, I have you sworn in from earlier. Just again, your name and address for the record.
Sure. My name is Victor Ero. My address is 3200 Huckleberry Road, Irving, Texas.
Huckleberry Road, is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh, I'm your Huckleberry, right? Okay, now is this case also one that is yours normally, or?
I wasn't aware of that site until now. When I came here, I was told about that particular property.
But is this your site going forward?
No.
Okay, so are you going to be in a position to also notify your corporate group that whoever's this is and many others are suffering from the same problem?
Yes, absolutely.
And you'll do that?
Absolutely. Yes.
I appreciate it. So on this case, they had to inspect twice the sign. They inspected the sign, and I'll do my best to read these notes, on 5/21/25, which is, of course, May 25th. And on that occasion, it says, let's see, sign panel is missing and must be replaced. And then they went back out. And then another note was sign panel is missing and that's another must be replaced. So the same basic notation. Then they had to go back out. Apparently someone must have been notified because on July 24th of the same year, this year, it says panel replaced. So I'm sure it being from corporate, the last thing you want is some store looking all shabby with broken down panels. So you might want to tell your folks back there also that this particular operator might need a little more oversight to keep the stores looking good for the corporate name. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about this case?
No.
Okay.
Do you know if it's been repaired?
I don't know.
Okay.
It seems it might have been, but
What I'm gonna suggest is, we'll give you, you have a cell phone, of course?
Yes.
Take a picture of this and.
then you'll know which store and what was wrong
Yeah,
when.
and exactly.
Good job. Good idea, Mr. Pellegrini.
That's what they paid me the big bucks for. Mr. B.
Where's that sign-in sheet?
This one.
Okay, all right. And Mr. Ero, are you the person we should likely expect, if you stay in your same position, on a number of these renewals in the future?
Usually it goes through the corporate, but
I mean, expect to show up here. Is this part of your job, or are you just doing a favor?
I'm doing a favor. But
Okay, great.
Okay, no.
Okay. Is there
If
anything
they
else?
need me to come, I'll show.
Okay. Is there anything else you wish to add at this time?
No.
You know, we're on the board, we listen to these 7-Eleven cases for months, and it wastes a lot of our time. Like today, we had to call it twice, and then we had to call it twice in the afternoon. So, tell your corporate office to, stop wasting our time, or we're gonna mark these things off the calendar.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
that's
fair. It's not fair, to us or the rest of the people that are waiting to hear their cases. Thank you.
Yeah. And like I said, we don't want to end up revoking these grants. That's a lot of money and headache for you guys. So any other questions from the board? If not, is there a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on a decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, we will mail you a notice in Texas.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, sir, for coming in and doing
Thank
that.
you very much.
I appreciate it. Tell your boss you did a good thing too. All right. Let's go. The other second calls we'll leave for the end so we can get to these.
Next, we'll be calling case 27625 Seaford Christian Farkash. Use variance to construct a 4-car garage forward of dwelling and with less than required front and rear yard setbacks on Siemens Neck Road, also known as 3769 Brooklyn Avenue. Swear affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, and the truth help God. Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Okay, honey. Good morning.
Take good care.
Good morning, Mr. Brown.
Nice to see you. Christian Brown, McLaughlin and Stern. 1120 Franklin Avenue, Garden City, for the applicant.
Christian Farkash, 3769 Brooklyn Avenue, Seaford, New York, 11783.
Right, this is Mr. Farkash's application to construct a garage. You can see from the site plan, the proposal is for a 4-car garage. Essentially, it would act as an expansion of his existing garage, and would.
Or once it's done, total 4, or it's 4 plus what he has?
It's 4 plus what he has. The property on which the garage would be located, you can see on your radius map, is designated as Lot 32. It's an irregular shaped piece of property on the corner of Mansfield Drive and Siemens Neck Road in Seaford. This piece of property, Lot 32 that is, which is adjacent to the residence that Mr. Farkash lives in, which is on the corner of Brooklyn Avenue and Siemens Neck Road. This piece of property was a leftover condemned parcel from the construction of the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway. Mr. Pellegrini may remember. Oh. Well, back in those days when Robert Moses was building the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway, this piece of property had some utilization. Since that time, it's remained a vacant, leftover piece of property. Back in yes.
The Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway runs parallel to.
Yes, it does.
Was that originally Siemens Neck part of the construction operation, if you know, to the Seaford Oyster Bay?
It would. It had something to do with the construction of the expressway. I don't know if it was used as a staging site or why it was taken at that time, but my understanding is that that's how it became sort of this orphaned piece of property, Lot 32. Back in 2003, a developer had acquired this property and came before this board seeking to construct a dwelling on the property. That was under case 21 of 2003. The developer needed a number of variances, mostly because, as you can see, it's a substandard lot. It's only about 4,000 and change square feet, irregular shaped, and it's not deep. It's only about 45 feet deep. You can see it has frontage of 17 and then 25 on Mansfield Drive. So it's hard to fit a house on it. It has no backyard. You know, most of our lots are 100 feet deep. Sure.
Who owns lot 26?
A neighbor who's here. That's just a residential house on Mansfield Drive. So this board, under case 21 of 2003, denied the variances that were requested in connection with the construction of the house, which included lot area occupied, front yard setbacks on both sides. It was unanimously denied, and from that time, over 20 years ago, the lots remained vacant. Eventually, it was the owner stopped paying the taxes. There was a tax lien foreclosure. Adam Mann, AJM Capital, acquired the tax lien, and that's how Mr. Farkash ended up with the property. He bought the property from the tax lien holder. What he's proposing to do is, as I said, build a new garage on the property. The garage would be attached by a door, a regular door that a person goes through, to his existing garage. Exactly. It is. Mr. Farkash is a retired New York City detective and car enthusiast. He owns, I believe, 19 cars.
Yes, ma'am. We have 4 Corvettes. I have a 65 Impala, actually 2 65 Impalas. I have a 71 Mako Shark. It's one of 125 built. I have my wife owns a 75 convertible, which is one of 4,600 built. I have a 76 Corvette that I built myself, and my son has a 2015 Corvette as well. We have an AMC Javelin. I have a Volkswagen Beetle. I have Jeep trucks. Yes, quite a few.
Are you planning to put those lists, like, so you could put 8 cars in a 4-car thing?
It's not necessary if for 4 cars, it's not necessary to have lifts in there. For what I need it for, I don't. I'm not planning on that, no.
So you're not going to try to put 8 in 4?
No, ma'am.
No, we would agree to limit this to 4 cars, the new structure.
And no plumbing?
No plumbing. The electric would just be lighting. No other accoutrements could be turned into a residence. No plumbing or any of that.
If the existing garage is going to have a person door.
Right.
How could you put 2 cars into that or a car into that?
No, it's got a new curb cut here.
Right. Yeah. No. Right. We would the new garage would be accessed by a new curb cut. So there would be two bay doors of the new structure facing onto Siemens Neck Road. They would enter through Siemens Neck Road. Everything else there would be no other doors other than the door to connect to the existing garage. He'll have to apply to the town to get a curb cut. He has not done that yet. So we would accept condition on 4 cars. We would accept a condition on no plumbing or heating. And of course, it would be conditioned on ability to access it through a legal curb cut on.
It says number 27, tax lot 32. Is that your client's also?
It's 32 is the lot that we're talking about.
Oh, that is part of his lot too.
Well, it's now been merged all into one, basically. So he owns lots 8, 34, and 32.
So from Mansfield Drive, all that you referenced with the 25 and the 17 front yard, that's his too, all the way.
It goes all the way through. As you can see, he's already put a fence, sort of just break up the property basically, but the part forward of the fence towards Mansfield Drive
Right.
is part of this lot and is owned by Mr. Farkash.
Fence is right next to a driveway?
It's next to the neighbor's driveway, yes.
Is that before?
What is this? I'm scooping you. What's the purpose, what's he gonna do with that property? The grassy area, the one that's on the corner of Mansfield and Seaman?
Absolutely nothing except mow it.
Okay.
And again, if it helps to allay any concerns of the neighbor, we would agree to condition, on leaving that part of the property vacant.
Oh, the fence doesn't go the way it was on the other thing. The fence on the lot that is on Mansfield Drive, that fence stops for much further
Correct.
back. That angled portion. What's creating the angle, if you don't mind me asking, like?
How they put it up.
You know what I'm asking? Like,
Yeah, I think that he fenced it in and the fence company built it that way, basically.
no, I mean, if the fence stops here, Mr. Brown, what creates this angle if not a fence? Like, you see why I assumed it was a fence there. But his fence stops here, wood fence.
In other words, because the line continues across
Just because the line goes down and angles off, so I assume it's not the property line because that would be odd. That looks like a fence, you catty corner it. Is that a fence or?
No. That's the distance line from the end of the proposed garage through to Mansfield.
This, Mr. Brown.
That's how the surveyors draw the property line.
That's just the property line?
It's just the property
Angled
line,
like
yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually it goes out and that's the fence line angle. That's why I did.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fence just cuts across the property.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
So that's really the tenor of this. I mean, this is a useless piece of property. You can't build a house on it. The board already denied an application to do it. It's lain fallow for all of these years. I spoke to Ms. First. The denial is intended, and she can confirm this obviously, it's not a true use variance. It's really a special use. Because it is a garage, but we're seeking to have one more car allowed than the code permits. The code says a private garage is for 3 cars, non-commercial vehicles, 3 non-commercial vehicles. So we're asking for a 4th non-commercial
But it's a
vehicle.
second garage. Does it say?
You're allowed to have.
Garage is gonna.
No, you can have more than one garage, correct? Is that right, Mr.?
It's 3 more cars than required because they're attached.
Okay, fair enough. But but if they were detached and we moved the garage down, we could have 3 cars by right from a use perspective.
You mean if you detached it and if you put on that piece of property a 3-car garage,
Correct.
that would be an as of right.
Subject to maybe an area variance for the setback, but the use would be as of right. If you follow me.
I do.
Okay.
How long are your typical cars from bumper to bumper?
So a 65 Impala is 18 feet.
I didn't think it was quite that long.
76 Corvette is approximately 15 feet.
Because you're asking for a 21.6 foot depth.
It makes sense. That's only 3 feet over the Impala.
Because in case I have to walk in front or behind the vehicle, I still have to walk around.
What happens if you had a Cadillac Fleetwood?
I would not buy a Fleetwood Cadillac.
I used
Sorry.
to drive a 69 Chevy Impala convertible when I was young. Of course, there was that total corner that my mom got in a car accident with, but I know they're big cars.
And that still leaves a 2-foot setback to the neighbor, which I believe our variance is, it has to be 5 in this circumstance, and we're proposing 2. But in the front, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, we do not need a variance for the front yard setback. Okay. So the front yard is legal. It's the rear yard. We're requesting a 3-foot variance. As you can see, the lot is irregular shape, so it does become a little wider as you go towards Mansfield Drive. But to place it where we would like to place it here, we need the 3-foot variance. So again, this allows Mr. Farkash to store some additional cars. He can walk through to his existing garage, and it's a reasonable use for a fallow piece of property that otherwise can't be improved. To the extent that, this, from a strictly legal perspective, I guess, again, we could separate the two structures and push this down. We have, over, let's see, or 180 feet to the lot 32 is goes way down. So we have plenty of room. We could push it down, and that would eliminate the concern about connecting them, but you're kind of ending up with the same result. You're talking about just a matter of feet, and by locating it where we propose, it allows obviously the walk through to the other garage. So again, we would accept the conditions I outlined. If there are other reasonable conditions, of course, the board could impose them, but it just happens to be this fortunate for a car collector, a man who has the need to have cars, that there was this useless piece of property appended to his that he was able to purchase in a tax lien sale, and he'd like to build this garage on it. So that's the application.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you do any work on the automobiles at your place?
Do I do work? I do whatever, a tune-up, maybe I change a tire. That's it, just to keep the cars moving. I bring them to a garage, I repair them there too.
So you really do not have any, you don't do constant repairs?
No, it's not a constant repair, no.
Are all the vehicles registered and current? Answer truthfully, Detective.
At least the ones you will keep here.
Am I understand, sir? No, all the vehicles are not registered because some of them are in a state of repair. Actually, I'm renting another garage where some of those vehicles are sitting.
That was what I was going to ask you.
You're not allowed to store unregistered vehicles on property. No, it's very relevant.
No, I said if he puts it inside.
No, you can't anyway.
I don't even know about that.
Where are you supposed to put your car before you get it registered?
The New York State Building Code doesn't allow them unregistered vehicles on the property. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you put it in your garage.
Any vehicle that's unregistered is inside a garage.
Let me ask you, you have 19 vehicles. Where, I heard you say the other garage, but where are they all?
Okay, so 19 vehicles. And some of the vehicles are in the garage at my present residence. Some of them are on the street. And what I mean by that, when I say 19 vehicles, some include my truck I drive every day, my wife's truck, this truck my son drives, the truck and the car my other son drives. My daughter has a car that she drives at the house that she takes.
So that's already 6 or 7.
That's what I'm including those. As far as collectible cars, I never really counted it that way. Like you said, 5 or 6,
No,
whatever the
so
balance
some
is.
are on the street. Are those in disrepair?
Nothing on the street is in disrepair. All are registered and insured. They're daily usage vehicles. Anything that's parked on the street.
Okay, but if there's 6, say, for daily use, or 7, so the other 12, you said there's another garage you rent.
There's 4 in another garage that I rent.
Okay.
And then the balance are at my residence. Either that detached garage in my backyard has a separate driveway. There's vehicles that are parked in that driveway or in the garage.
Oh, so you'll have 3 driveways if you get that other curb cut.
You could say I have 3 driveways. That other garage is going to be close enough to the street where I don't know that you would consider it a driveway. It's a drive up to the garage.
The reason I asked that was, Mr. Brown, I'm sure you've seen this, right? This is the stack of emails. So far, I've only seen opposition, and I usually try to go through them and pick out, usually when there's this number, it's a couple of themes, like
Right.
parking, et cetera. So I've only gotten to one theme so far. Someone likes the path and walks by, but complains that the house is the house is poorly maintained in a neighborhood that has nice homes, and the concern raised, legitimate or illegitimate, is we don't want more property to be also poorly maintained. So I was, usually what we do is let you answer these, but I just want to, I'll go through the rest quickly, and I'll let you know what the themes are so you can respond to them. But that's the reason that I was asking about where the cars are, particularly those in disrepair. But
Ma'am, I ask you, if you have whether it be a laptop or a computer, if you go to Google Maps, you put my address in, you will see my house is not in disrepair.
okay.
Matter of fact, I just put new grass seed down on my lawn because it got burned.
Okay,
I take pride in taking care of my.
understood. That's why I've raised it, so you can
And
respond.
I think that, for your information, the board often goes out and inspects sites, and if there's a concern about anything being unsightly, you're welcome to inspect this
Yeah,
site.
it's just important when we have a lot of
Been there,
emails
done
that
that.
we give you the opportunity to respond to them, just like you've done.
So, actually, we would see this as a cleanup. This property has not been well taken care of over the years because nobody cared about it, obviously. So
This subject property,
the
not.
subject property, yes, then the vacant piece of property. So,
Even where it is now, with all due respect, you must have at least 4 cars there on the property, and they don't look like they're operable.
Which property?
Attached in front of your garage in that grassy area.
Every one of the vehicles are operable.
It looks like there's a lot of repairs going on there. It's just unsightly, in my opinion, but beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. How's that, Mr. Brown?
that is correct, actually. I agree with that statement. You're recalling your English literature.
Is that where that's from? You submitted photos and there's a lot of, I don't know. I think it's untidy.
Okay, so I
Well,
interrupted you, so go ahead and.
No, let me just say, so, first of all, by building this, we can put more cars in a garage. That's a positive thing. Secondly, we will agree to condition of no, however you want to phrase it, commercial style repairs. There will be no commercial vehicles here. There's no business being run out of this premises. This is just a hobby, within reason.
Personal repairs you would do inside,
Correct.
if you had the space, like anyone, right?
This would allow me to have that space without a doubt.
Nothing would be put in here that would make it possible to convert it to a dwelling, and we would be willing to leave the balance of the property open. Correct.
In front of his house.
Is there parking on Siemens Neck Road?
Yes, there is.
There's parking on the road and also on Brooklyn Avenue?
Yes.
Is there overnight parking on both roads?
That's that curb.
Well, there are signs that are posted that say, I think it's 2-hour parking, or when they put those signs up when the Seaford train station used to be jam-packed with cars for the regular commuters. Subsequently, what's happened is since nobody's going into Manhattan anymore, there's very little parking there anymore. So it's seldom enforced. But I park my vehicles in front of the house. We park them on the side of the house as well.
Overnight?
Yes.
Is there parking there on Siemens Neck? I see one car down the street. I'm looking at I guess, is this Google Maps? Yeah. So I could see, I'm looking down with your garage on the right, your existing garage.
Yes, there's a telephone pole right to the rear point of my garage there.
Yes.
Okay, and there's a sign approximately a car or two length from
I see it.
and there's parking there as well.
So between that pole and that sign?
Yes, it says that you're allowed to park there because that's the signs they posted when there was all the parking coming from the train station. There was a point where you couldn't even park on my block because of all the parking from the train station, which is why they posted the signs.
Do you have Mr. Brown, just curious. You've got a gate, a fence gate going across the driveway that obviously opens somehow. It's see-through and it's chain links right now, but does that have a permit? It looks like it's only 4 feet tall. And it would have been as of right before the change.
I believe as a part of this process that the whole property has been reviewed by the building department and permits have been issued and closed out for everything on the site, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, I can see the front of your house is very attractive. I think, what people are getting at is the fence is a little dilapidated on that wooden fence piece, which I imagine will be part of this project. But yeah, I don't see it being in disrepair. Mr. Brown, I had interrupted you originally.
No, I think you have the case. Again, we're seeking the additional car over the 3 that's permitted by code, and we need a setback in the rear. Again, if we separated this structure, we could move it down the property. We could, with your permission, still locate it basically in the same alignment. You could limit it to 3 cars if that's what the board wanted. Obviously, Mr. Farkash has a bunch of cars. It would be nice to have a 4th car. But in terms of its impact, either way is the same. And I think it's fair to say that you can't restrict this to just being a fallow piece of property. A minor variance for 2 or 3 feet, this board would routinely grant. And so my point is that I think there would be a garage there one way or the other. Here, it's just in a configuration that would be most convenient to the applicant, and we're proposing a series of conditions that should mitigate against any adverse effects, including conversion to a residential use, no commercial activity here, no business. Everything that would be done inside. All vehicles would be stored inside, and so forth. So I'd be happy to work with the staff to craft the exact language, but I think you understand the spirit of what we're asking for.
Can you just put on the record again what you could put there as
Well, from a use perspective, you could put a 3-car garage.
attached?
A detached 3-car garage. You would probably, because of the configuration of the lot, wherever you put it, you would need a minor variance in the rear, just like what we're asking for here.
Okay.
You're required to have 5 feet. We're proposing 2. Could you shift it around and get 3? Yes, but the bottom line is the use is permitted at 3 and detached. We're proposing 4 and attached, but we're leaving a tremendous open space running down to Mansfield Road, which really the intent is to encroach as little as possible on the homeowner on lot 26 that fronts on Mansfield Road by locating the garage back towards Brooklyn Avenue. So they still get the open field basically for the vast majority of the property. And we would agree to keep it that way.
Mr. Brown, I have another
Yes.
question.
Sure.
Is someone a fireman?
No, ma'am.
Okay, there's or at one time whenever this picture was taken on the Google Maps, it says Roxbury Fire and Rescue.
That truck, when my son went to, I'm sorry for pointing, my son went to college in Kansas. He went to McPherson College, which specializes in automotive restoration. Okay, he went to college for that. He's got a bachelor's degree. That truck was auctioned off at that local fire department. They were not using it anymore. He inspected the truck. He won that truck in an auction, and we transported it home. He wants to keep it as original as possible. I mean, I can go on for hours here, but that truck is awesome. Just the way it is, you cannot believe the amount of comments he gets.
And it is licensed in New York.
It is registered and insured in New York State, yes.
All right. Okay, neat truck.
So, Mr. Brown.
Yes.
There are a number of people who've signed in.
Yes.
Heard. So I'm noticing that some of these emails are duplicative, but I'd like to give them to you.
Yeah, sure.
I started circling the big concepts. That way you can have a chance to see what the general theme is. And
Absolutely.
respond to those items on the record.
You got it.
Okay, so if there's no one, if you're done for the time being.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll call the other individuals who are here and would like to be heard. I will call, I guess, in order of the sign-in. So the first one is Alyssa DiStefano. So come up to this podium, please. You'll be sworn in and have a chance to give your remarks. You have to speak loudly and slowly.
Okay. My name is Alyssa DiStefano. I live at 3768 Mansfield Drive in Seaford, 11783. I do have something to give you guys, evidence, pictures that I took.
Okay, so you took the photographs, and do they fairly and accurately represent what they purport to represent? They've not otherwise been altered in any way?
No, not at all.
Okay, did you put is there anything on them indicating what they, like an address, or did you number them or anything so that when you speak, we can reference them?
I did not. Most of them is showing the street that this garage and driveway will be, where it is curved
Okay,
and
so you'll have to
dangerous.
just, if you wish for us to reference them as you speak, you'll have to be able to describe which photograph we need to look at.
Okay.
But otherwise, we'll accept those into evidence. Mr. Brown, have you seen them? Let's show them to Mr. Brown. I apologize.
I haven't seen them yet.
Let Mr. Brown take a look of them. I'll withdraw my acceptance for the moment. Let's let him take a look, and then we'll make sure that he has no objection to their admission. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead,
I
Mr.
also
Stefan.
have a piece of paper that is bullet points of all my points I'm going to make during what I say.
Okay, you'd like to put that into evidence? Okay, we'll accept that into evidence. Do you need to see that, Mr. Brown? It's just her outline of her.
No, she's
Okay.
free to proceed.
Thank you.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Alyssa. I'm going to move this down a little.
You do whatever you want, sure.
My name is Alyssa DeStefano. I live at 3768 Mansfield Drive in Seaford, directly next to the property in question. I here to respectfully oppose this request. This isn't just about size, whether it's a 3-car, 4-car, 2-car garage, any structure on this lot would be excessive. It would be commercial looking and completely out of character for our residential neighborhood. The applicant already has 2 garages, one being a double garage where he works on cars. The noise from revving engines occurs at different times during the day. I hear it early in the morning. I hear it late at night. Sometimes we're in our backyard and we just hear it, and I get text messages from my neighbors. Do you hear that revving?
Where's the other garage, just as you go?
On his house.
Pardon me?
On his house. What I also have with what I'm handing you is a layout of everything, a picture at the end. My backyard borders this property, and my 2 young children play outside every day. I am concerned about real safety risks, fire hazards, which a garage in Bayshore just went up in flames holding vintage cars yesterday. I don't know if you heard that. So there is a fire hazard with this. Car fluids in the ground and fumes drifting into our yard and our home. The proposed structure would be very close to our fence line, increasing these risks. There are also serious traffic concerns. The proposed driveway would exit on Siemens Neck Road by Sunrise Highway at a busy intersection where cars often speed and the road curves. Visibility is limited. It's already limited. And I am concerned that pulling vehicles in and out of a multi-car garage at this spot could lead to accidents. This road is used daily by children biking and walking to school, families walking dogs, people exercising, and during our community 5K every year. Additionally, the applicant has a history of inconsistent statements and lack of transparency. He previously told us he wanted this lot for his son to work on cars because he went to school for it. And now he says it's just a hobby. He has avoided speaking to us, the residents living next to this lot, the neighbors most affected by this, but he has been going to our other neighbors asking for their approval. He also attempted to put up tented carports on this lot in the past, which the town required him to remove fast. This raises serious concerns about his intentions with this garage. On top of that, the applicant does the bare minimum to maintain his property. He does not shovel the snow that surrounds that property on Mansfield Drive and Siemens Neck Road, and he waits to mow his grass until the last minute. He has been very good, though, best behavior lately, I have to say. Another large structure under these conditions would be a complete eyesore and would reduce surrounding property values, including mine. Finally, under the New York Town Law 267B, the board must weigh the applicant's benefits against the detriment to the community. The detriments, safety hazards, reduced property values, harm to neighborhood character, and negative precedent clearly outweigh any personal benefit. The law also requires granting only the minimum variance necessary, and in this case, no garage is justified. For all these reasons, I respectfully ask the board to deny this request in full. Thank you for protecting the character of our community and my children that live right next door.
Thank you, Mr. Savana. Thank you. Next, we have, let's see, Joyce Smithock. Smithock? I used to be a Smith, so I got the first part right. Oh, so this is her house.
I do. Sure. My name is Joyce Smithock. I live at 958 White Birch Lane in Wantagh, New York, 11793. Good afternoon.
morning.
I can say
Good
good
afternoon.
afternoon now.
Oh, good afternoon, you're right.
Chairman and members of the board, thank you for your service and your time.
Thank you.
And I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be able to speak and to be heard.
Excuse me, how far away are you from this subject property?
I'm probably about 2 miles.
That's what I thought.
I'm fairly close. Yeah, my block is right off Siemens Neck Road. Yeah, except it's the extension of it across Jerusalem Avenue. So this is a thoroughfare that I very frequently use just as a resident.
Okay.
And when I was working in Massapequa, I used it quite often. And I do have concerns as great aunt of these little boys that live in the property the DeStefano's own. And I'm also concerned as a resident. I know that when I bought my home and when they bought theirs, we were stretching to raise our families in the culture of Nassau County, which has a long-standing history of being family-friendly. And I know where I originally lived in Wantagh, which was a Levitt community, there are many green spaces that are not considered foul or wasted space. They were considered part of the safety and beauty and well-being of the neighborhoods where people raise their families. So I object to the suggestion that by not building on this lot, it is left as foul or unkempt. I have never noticed it to be that way except when it was being neglected by the prior owner who was not mowing it. But I understand this is now resolved because this person lost the property. I am also concerned about the traffic. As I said, as a resident nearby, and I used to work in Massapequa, I use that area to travel to Sunrise Highway. So there is definitely a curve which limits visibility. And also for the commuters exiting out of the parking lot of the train station, that is the direction they need to exit. I also have been watching the news reports yesterday and today. I did video my TV, but I understand now that's not admissible. But you're certainly free to tune into News 12 Long Island today because they've been repeating it because it was a vintage, detached car garage in Bayshore storing vintage cars. So my concern is that although this is not being sought after as a business venture, the de facto effect is what businesses cause, and not in keeping with the plans, with the codes that were enacted in good faith to protect the culture of our neighborhood. I'm concerned about the noise. I know for personal experience, I get along very well with my neighbors. We have a very happy block. However, I have the lived experience that my neighbor across the street, her husband does have a collector car, a sports car. And my dog runs for cover when he's working on it. Now he's working on it in their garage, which is at the back end of their property. So with me being directly opposite across the street, my doors are closed, my windows are closed, I can still hear that. And my neighbor did explain to me once, she says, you know, it's like a race car engine. Those engines must be maintained. So her husband will be in the garage, but obviously the garage door needs to be open because he needs to be safe and not enclosed and run the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. So now that's going to let the sound travel out. And then as he backs it out of his driveway, this is of course my personal experience, I notice how he has to rev because he has to go so slowly because the front of the car is low to the ground. Maybe he's got 4 or 5 inches to the ground. He's got to angle it and rev it and hold back as he's angling it out, not to scrape his precious possession. So once again, although this is not being sought after as a business venture, the de facto effect is very comparable. So I strongly oppose approving any version of this. This is not what we have all signed on for. I appreciate the laws and the codes as they have been written. I think they were well thought out. They were enacted in good faith to protect the general public. So I do not believe that there is any hobby or wish that would outweigh the needs of this family that truly lives adjacent to this property in question. Because this property was referred to as being adjacent to the applicant's property. From my perspective, it is behind the applicant's property. It would not impact the view from the front or the corner, but it highly impacts the view of anybody driving by. And it would break my heart to have to drive by Siemens Neck Road and see any sort of building like that enacted over there. Once again, the green spaces have value. They are part of the culture of Nassau County. They are part of the beauty. They are part of our property values, and they give a little buffer to that street, which is quite busy. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate your attention in this matter, and I hope that we can find a fair and just resolution.
Thank you, Ms. Smith.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Diane DiStefano.
I do. Diane DiStefano, 213 Herkimer Street, North Belmore, New York.
Welcome.
The reason why I'm speaking is my son and daughter-in-law own the house next to this property in question. As a grandmother, I'm at the house many days out of the week babysitting. I see a lot of activity going on that does not look like someone who's just a collector of cars. There's a flatbed on the property, which I see loaded up with cars driven in and out of the property. There's not really much more I could add to what has already been said as far as a safety issue, but all I could say is they're lucky there hasn't been an accident yet. And I would appreciate if this was denied as a grandmother, concerned for the well-being not only of my grandsons, but of the community, who I became friends with from being there so often. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. The last person is George DiStefano. Pass? Okay, sir. Already been said by the women, huh? Okay. All right, Mr. Brown, in terms of responses to
just
the remarks.
briefly summarize. Again, this is I didn't say it was foul. I said it was a fallow piece of property that is annexed to Mr. Farkash's property. He bought it because it was let to go for taxes because it's otherwise not usable, and I think even the testimony of some of the opposition admitted it obviously becomes unsightly and unkempt because nobody owns it or cares for it. Now, it will be cared for. It can be improved. This isn't an alien use to a residential area. It's a garage. So whether you call it a 4-car garage or a 3-car garage, where its exact location is on the property is, I mean, it's relevant, obviously, but it's not as if, in my opinion, there's an option that the board could say you can't build anything, or you cannot build any form of garage on this piece of property. The way that it's located is meant to be as unobtrusive as possible to the neighbor because it's set back as far as it can be towards the existing garage. It leaves, roughly 100 feet of open space, which is proximate to the neighbor's house, and we will agree to leave that open space. The yard is already fenced off. There's no safety issue in that specific safety issue because obviously the garage would be accessed off of Siemens Neck Road, and the neighbor's house is on Mansfield Drive, so nobody's going to, hopefully drive through the garage onto the abutting property. So it is contingent on the town giving Mr. Farkash a legal curb cut that will address its appropriate width and access and visibility issues. So it's really rather an ordinary use. It's an improvement of this otherwise unusable piece of property. It does provide a benefit to Mr. Farkash, obviously, who happens to be a car collector, but it otherwise has really no detriment to anybody else. And the variances required here are very minor in the end. And finally, again, we would accept all the conditions that we outlined, including the conditions prohibiting commercial vehicles and any form of commercial style work on the property. And it will be kept in very good order. The grass will be mowed, the cars will be stored inside. You won't even know that it is there.
Mr. Brown, has he applied for that? I mean, if this whole thing is contingent on the curb cut, I assume you mean without the curb cut, it wouldn't be constructed.
Well, not in this form, or would probably have to come back here because there's no way to get into it without a curb cut.
Right. So, but he hasn't applied yet for the curb cut, or?
I have not. I was waiting for the approval or.
I understand. And then there's no curb cut anywhere near currently that would be an alternative, right?
Not an alternative. There is the curb cut that goes into my other garage.
Right.
Not on Siemens Neck Road, no.
Okay. All right. Is that it, Mr. Brown?
Can you, excuse me?
No, go ahead.
Can you offer any type of conditions, if you will, to restrict the hours of operating the vehicles? I know it's kind of like, it's a stretch, but that obviously we heard testimony that it's affecting the neighbors. Don't start them up at midnight with a bad muffler, et cetera.
So I try to be very considerate of my neighbors.
Okay.
I will note, okay, something that was mentioned, I will note. We live next to the Seafood Oyster Bakery.
Yes.
On an hourly basis, there is a car racing up the highway on a half-hourly basis.
How about every 10 minutes? I live near the Southern State.
It is as noisy as, we can't have this conversation in my backyard unless we're standing next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
The house will also, that building will also provide like blockage for the noise coming off the highway into our backyards. I try to be very considerate of my neighbors. I have a letter from my other neighbor, my one neighbor, who has known me since I moved in over 25 years ago, that says I'm very considerate of my neighbors. I try not to start the vehicles up when it's early in the morning, late at night, overnight. I've moved vehicles out of there during the day, knowing that I have to do something else with them another day, just so that I don't disturb my neighbors. I attempt to be very considerate of my neighbors.
So the answer is yes, we could agree to
Absolutely.
Reasonable, not at dawn, not at midnight, not at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, and if I'm happy to submit a list of conditions to the board for consideration.
One of the email messages referenced an issue about if you're, doing work on the car, things like the disposal of the transmission fluid, the oil, etc. I take it you are familiar with how you got to dispose of that, and you do so?
I have storage containers that I take when I drain the oil. If I drain the oil,
right,
it goes back into the same container that I poured the new oil in, and I take it to Jiffy Lube, or I take it to the dump.
Okay.
That's where it goes. I'm not pouring fluids in the ground.
And in terms of fuel, I guess you keep a couple cans of fuel around so you can test it out when you're
My
working. on it.
lawnmower.
Okay. Yeah, no, it would be normal to have a 5-gallon can or something like that, but no other big storage of flammable liquids. Reference to fire in Bay Shore, so.
And we understand that, and we will agree to a condition that we not store anything of a, let's say, commercial nature in a barrel.
Right.
Standard household types of things would be stored that would be customary to have with cars.
Okay. Are there any other questions from?
Hi, Mr. Farkas, your name? Yeah. Hello. Some of the testimony that was given said that there's a flatbed truck in your area. Can you address that, please?
Flatbed truck?
I said a flatbed, meaning a flatbed where you're moving cars constantly. I think that's what they meant.
I have
Can you
a car
address that?
trailer in the yard. That's it. Do I use the car trailer periodically? Absolutely. Do I use it every day? Definitely not.
But is it a car trailer or a flatbed truck?
Car trailer, it's not a flatbed
Because
truck.
that's a big difference.
Absolutely.
If it were attached to a vehicle, it could be
Well, I was
characterized.
just listening to the testimony and trying to ask you to address that. And my other question was this. So you currently have the garage that's attached to your house in the front. I know your house, you have a house that, to me, looks like very well kept from the front. And then there's a garage attached to it.
Yes, sir.
Then you have a 2-car garage in the back.
That was there when I bought.
Okay, no, I understand. So now you want to put another 3-car garage, so there's going to be like 6 spaces for cars? Is that what the total is going to be? Or are you knocking the other garage down?
No, it's going to be in addition to whatever I have, yes.
So, from your point of view, do you think that that changes the contour of the neighborhood? Do people normally have 6 spaces for cars in a residential neighborhood? Well, I'm just asking you a question.
I think the best way to answer it, if I can, and then of course Mr. Farkas is free to chime in, but no, it would not be normal. But most people live on a 60 by 100 with an attached or detached garage, and you have to comport with the setbacks and the lot area occupied requirements and so forth that apply generally. Here, just so happens that Mr. Farkas is a car collector, and there's a almost 5,000 square foot piece of property that's vacant and available that nobody else wanted, which he was able to acquire for this particular purpose. So it is a unique circumstance. And other than the 2-foot setback variance, he doesn't trigger any lot area occupied concerns, which would certainly come up in almost any other situation where you had multiple garages on a standard 60 by 100 property.
I understand that, but what I was asking is, as far as the contour of the neighborhood, it's a residential area. It's odd to have 6-car garage, 3 separate garages.
I would concede it's unusual, but
That's all I was saying.
unusual
In other words,
circumstance.
That's
yes.
why I asked about the flatbed truck, which you explained to me, which made sense.
Totally understand.
No, I'm
Totally.
just-
And I just, from a legal perspective, you're right, it's unusual, but it is permitted use-wise. A garage is allowed. So it fits within what is generally contemplated under the code for residential uses, although yes, it's a unique circumstance.
Are there any other questions from the board? If not, is there a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on a decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you'll be notified.
Second? All in
Thank you.
favor? Thank you, everyone, for coming and participating. Have a nice afternoon. I think the rain has stopped. Thank you.
Touche.
Next, we have case 36225, Near Valley Stream, Avram Gross and Sarah Friedman, variances, front yard average setback, lot area occupied, rear yard construct dwelling, demolish existing dwelling, also known as 606 Diane Place. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is Shmuel Flaum, residing at 194 Wanzer Avenue, Inwood, New York, 11096. I'm here before you on the continuance of a previous application that we adjourned due to a mix-up in some paperwork after I'd done the initial presentation. I'm gonna just summarize everything once more, but you do have the correct drawings in front of you at this point, so there shouldn't be any confusion or errors. I apologize for that last time. Yes, it was a big mix-up. So, we are here on behalf of my client who is seeking variances for a few items related to a proposed new one-family dwelling. The variances being sought relate to the building area, where you are permitted to have a max building area of 27.5%. We are seeking a total of 36.31% for the building area. For the accessory decking, where you're permitted 2.5%, we're seeking 6.43%. That would give you a total of 42.74% in total lot coverage. But if you take a look at the site plan, you see most of that overage is an open porch, which we had discussed last time would never be enclosed. It's meant to be an open porch. There are no columns. It's open to above. It's just a porch fronting the entire house. It's not part of the look. No, it's an open porch. There's no roof over it. It's a roofless porch. It's just open. Okay. There was also a question last time about the distance of the porch to the property line. I added the dimension for you, Mr. Pellegrini. So now you can see that from the corner of the open porch, I remember, it's 17'3" to the property line, to the open porch extension, and another 7.5 feet to the actual house. It's my memory, I'm pretty good. What? No, it's going slowly, but I do remember it, because it was a very pointed question you had asked. The other variances being sought are related to the front yard, where the average front yard setback is 25.65 feet. We're proposing 21'1", but that 21'1" is only to the center of the house. The rest of the house on the sides is set back to that 24'9" setback. So it's a central hall. So the front of the central hall pushes forward. That's triggering the variance for the front yard. Sorry, not the side of the house. The left and right portions of the frontage. So that's the front yard setback that needs a variance. And last but not least, the rear yard, there's a portion of the breakfast area and the kitchen which encroaches into the required 25-foot setback at 22'5". The rest of the house complies at 26'1". Just a small portion of the rear projects into the required rear yard setback.
Excuse me? The setback on the rear should be taken to the deck, so it should be a 21-foot setback to the deck.
Ooh, really?
Yes.
Decks are not encroaching to the rear yard? Oh, really? Oh. Okay, didn't know that. Thank you. Okay, I was just advised, I didn't know that the rear yard is taken to the wood deck when it's a new construction. I was not aware of that, but. Correct. Well played. The total lot area occupied is 42.74. I had said it before, but I think you were talking to one of the other board members. That's the combination of the building area and the deck together and the front porch.
Would your client be amenable, if the board were consider approving the request, to not ever enclosing any further, including roof or walls, the deck?
Yes, of course. Same thing at the open porch in the front. They're amenable to that as well.
No columns.
No columns.
How many square feet is this lot?
The lot is currently 6822.39 square feet.
68 point,
6822.39.
wow, and a 42, that's a very high lot area occupancy.
It is, but again, most of the overage is on the open front porch, which is not a cover porch, it's just open, and the wood deck. That's about 600 of the square feet.
Same question about the front porch as the deck about enclosure.
Correct. Yes, they are amenable.
Let's see. Is that your case?
That's my case. Unless the board has any other questions, I can answer.
Are there any other?
From what I remember I had asked you the last time, like, why you're knocking down such a beautiful house? Because I'm looking at, I had inspected it, and you said that the family, it's a growing family, and that I think the mother or the mother-in-law was coming to live or something, or somebody was coming to live there?
Not this house.
Oh.
They just have a growing family, and there's not enough bedrooms in the existing house.
I was just curious, like, why they were knocking this down, because it's a nice-looking house.
I ask that question a lot of times also. Preference.
Okay, if there are no further questions from the board, do I have a motion?
I move the hearing be closed, the case placed on a decision calendar. When the board renders its decision, you will be notified.
Second, all in favor? All right, have a nice afternoon, sir.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. It's okay.
Yeah, there's two more. It might even be three, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick, we'll do those three other second calls. What the heck?
We'll be second calling case 46525 Belmore, Color Corporation, doing business as Villa de Aqua, renewal of grant to maintain ID sign not permitted in Res C district, setback 7 feet from Belmore Avenue, also known as 2565 Belmore Avenue.
Okay, sorry, I was, other housekeeping matters. So, this is a request to maintain an ID sign not permitted in Res C. I think that we should probably issue a notice to appear to this.
Absolutely.
Folks, make sure they come in. All right, good enough, we'll issue that.
And
Yes, it was inspected on July 3rd.
November 12th
Okay, November 12th it is.
at 11 a.m.
And for the record, there was no one else here on the matter, and no further notices will go out.
Next will be second calling case 46725 West Hempstead, Christopher B. Gladino, renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling, also known as 447 Birch Street.
Okay, this is a renewal of a grant to maintain a two-family residence. Obviously, it's important that the applicant show up. It was inspected. No one else was here on the matter, so we'll issue a notice to appear on that case also.
Absolutely. And November 19th at 11 a.m.
Okay, November 19th it is. And then I think we have one more.
Yes. Case 47525 Oceanside, Great Lincoln LLC, Amy Seibert. Install one double-face illuminated detached pylon sign, 109 square feet per face, overall size 218 square feet, overall height 20 feet, clearance 5 foot 6 inches from grade to bottom of sign, setback 12.99 feet from Atlantic Avenue, and 13.65 feet from Long Beach Road, also known as 12 through 70 Atlantic Avenue. This was, there was a defective sign posting on this case.
So I think our office has been in touch with the applicant. In either case, they're going to have to repost, right?
Correct.
And no one's here, but that's probably because it wasn't included on the posting. So what date do we have for that?
November 12th at 11 o'clock.
At 11. And they'll get a notice indicating they need to appear and that they need to repost.
Correct.
Okay, it says, yeah, the mailing was done correctly and there was no one here. So I don't think they have to redo that mailing, right?
Correct.
Okay, so it is, I think does that cover it all, Patrick?
Yes.
Okay, and any motion to close the hearing?
Make a motion to close the morning calendar.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, lunch break. Yeah, we should. Okay. All right, Patrick, we're going to go through decisions. So the first case, okay. First case was done from the bench. See you after lunch, Miss Becky.
Hi.
All right.
How's your,
The only problem with this is when you're very
which show?
after Veterans Day.
Oh, we're doing sport time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing sport time and
We don't care about elections.
high school. But he already rolled his ankle on Friday.
We do these, ready to do decisions? Patrick, can we get the decisions done? Okay, let's do decision, guys. So the first case was 463 of 2025 in Belmore. That was the Chamber of Commerce, and it was granted from the bench. The next case is case 464. We're doing the renewals. This is Lords Mortal and Marlon Enriquez, which was a renewal regarding a 6-foot-high stockade fence. This is property is located at 22204 Street in East Meadow. Any discussion? If not, is there a motion?
I have a motion on case 46425 East Meadow, Lordo Mortel. Renewal of grant to maintain 6-foot-high fence be granted as requested with five-year conditions.
Second? All in favor? Okay. Case 465, 2025. This is the Cola Corp doing business as Villa de Aqua in Belmore. The applicants failed to appear. An order to appear will be issued, and that case is set to be heard on November 12th at 11 a.m. The next case is 466 of 2025. This is one of the two 7-Eleven cases we had on today. In particular, this is the one at 850 Hempstead Turnpike and Franklin Square. Is there any discussion? If not, is there a motion?
I make a motion for 46625, 7-Eleven, renewal of the grant to maintain a one illuminated double phase 2 broadcast sign with conditions.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, case 467. Christopher B. Glaudino. This is a property at 447 Birch Street in West Hempstead. The applicant failed to appear. We've issued a notice to appear, and that case has been adjourned to 11/19 at 11 o'clock. Case 468, the second 7-Eleven case on for renewal today. It's the 7-Eleven number 27322. It's located at 1800 Merrick Avenue in Merrick. It was a renewal of their grant to maintain their double-faced illuminated sign. Any discussion? If not, motion.
I make a motion on 468 of 25 Merrick, 7-Eleven, number 27322, located at 1800 Merrick Ave, be approved as requested, temporary 5 years.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, case 469 through 471, 2025. This is a case of Raul Hernandez and Maria Bonilla Vasquez. The property is located at 2095 Briggs Street in Belmore. This is a request for a number of items, a shed, some air conditioning, and a mother-daughter. Is there any discussion? If not, is there a motion?
I'd like to discuss it.
Go ahead.
I'd like to discuss it. I don't have a problem with them trying to make it a legitimate mother-daughter, but it seems to me from the evidence that he was renting it out illegally. he admitted that he was renting it out illegally, and what basis do we have to trust him that he's going to not continue to rent it out illegally? Then, that's just my point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can necessarily trust him, or maybe it's trust but verify. I think that the neighbors understand what would be granted if it's granted, that it's 3 years. He has to renew it and agree to be inspected whenever asked, and if not, they will be revoked, and that the neighbors are aware now. I think the neighbors are very conscientious. They seem very reasonable, and so I do feel like they will be getting copies of the decision also. And if we grant it, I think that we can't, that we don't have to trust him to comply. I think the neighbors will make sure he does.
Did they say that the law is that if the neighbor complained that they can't refuse the building inspector? In other words, we don't have to wait
Correct.
3 years?
Yes, I asked that specific question, and Becky confirmed for us that you sign an affidavit agreeing to inspections, and not just your 3-year, but if they complain and they don't let them in, yeah, they might try once or twice if they're on hold or something, but then they are at risk of it being revoked.
Because if you remember, they were complaining about when there was a tenant, the parking problem on the street. And
Yeah, and when he didn't let people in,
yes.
when it was a locked door and all that,
And
so.
As Becky, stated, there are mechanisms in place to prevent that type of issue.
I actually think this is one of the cases where the arrangement is really going to work. Like, if we grant it, it's really going to work because the neighbors are on board. His attorney, Mr. McKevitt, you can take his word because he's not going to represent someone who doesn't do what he agreed to do. And not that Mr. McKevitt will necessarily be in the mix on the enforcement issues, but I do believe that if he doesn't comply with requirements, that we will become aware of it and he will suffer the loss of his grant. Yeah, no, I think I think the point is legitimate. Is there any further discussion? If not, is there a motion?
I move that case 469 to 471, Raul Hernandez and Maria Bonilla Vasquez, as that
Second,
be granted.
all in favor? I know.
Mira, yes.
One thing, Christina, when we have cases like,
Yes, I did. I said granted with conditions.
all in favor?
Aye.
I was gonna say, the mechanism to sort of flag these cases, because you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be racial profiling.
And my understanding too is that the renewals are processed probably through the
I agree. Okay, next case, I'll call the case, but I'd like to inspect it and whoever else. This is 472 of 2025. It's near Island Park. It's the case brought by Alexandra Buzetta, and this is the property at 240 California Place near Island Park. This is the case where the applicants requested to maintain a 2-story shed with a large exterior staircase. First in my career here, I need the papers on that, but I will take a look at that case. So let's put that on reserve till me and whoever else wants to take a look at it does so. Sure.
On that case, to me, the staircase should be inside, it shouldn't be outside. He said he could do that. And B, we do have an option after you inspect it of asking him to take the top floor off because it's 2 parts. I saw the whole, I agree with you 100%.
I like that a lot. I think that's okay, can we put that in our notes? That, like when because mine don't cover. No. Thing for the record. Also, I just recalled that case is also on hold in the building department because they are somehow the plans before us indicate a second kitchen, which would not be allowable without coming here or prior relief. And so the building department has to put that permit. Apparently, he's going to put the permit for that addition on hold at least temporarily while we figure out what needs to be done. Given that it appears he wants to build a second kitchen without maybe the right to do so. I apologize. Go ahead. Okay, good. So that's on hold in more than one way. Next case, 473 of 2025. This is the applicant John A. Leonardi III. The property is at 610 Park Avenue in West Hempstead. This person seeks relief for an addition to the dwelling, etc. Any discussion? And I have a note, as do probably others, that if we were inclined to approve it, that they would be a condition that at no time in the future could the deck be further enclosed or the porch. So discussion, motion.
I move case 473 of 2025, location of property 610 Park Avenue in West Hempstead, be granted as requested, with the condition that the enclosed it's an enclosed
I
porch.
misspoke, Ms. Adams. I just saw that. The porch's already enclosed.
And the enclosed porch is already enclosed, but the deck is never to be enclosed in the future.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, next case, 474 of 2025 in Wantagh. This is the case Peter and Lauren Janiak. I apologize. 3419 Jackson Avenue. Again, that's Wantagh. Any discussion? Motion, maintain open porch.
I make a motion on file number 473 of 25, West Hempstead, John A. Oh, it's 474 of Wantagh, thank you. Peter and Lauren Janiak, variance for front yard setback, maintain open porch attached to dwelling, be granted as requested with a condition that the porch never be enclosed.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next case is 475 of 2025 in Oceanside.
So I know you asked me to make a couple of phone calls.
Yeah, I was just going to call it real quick. Great Lincoln LLC, Amy Siebert. I just want to get the property address is 12-70 Atlantic Avenue in Oceanside. What say you?
So, I jumped the gun, I apologize. I placed a phone call to the woman who emailed us, Heather Sanderson, and she has not returned my call. I'm unsure who represents who.
Okay.
I know we did discuss for our calendar, Patrick, right, 11:12?
It's been adjourned to 11/12 at 11 o'clock. We're going to send an order to appear, and we will send it to the person of record, if that's the applicant, him or herself, or if that's ¿cómo se llama? Expediter. And I would suggest we send it also to the expediter in case that person, since that is who reached out to us, maybe we could just let her know when it is. The order to appear is to the applicant, and that way hopefully someone will show up. Otherwise, we'll have to consider dismissing it and any, whatever relief, whatever sanction we need to impose as it relates to the sign itself. Okay. Next case, 476, 2025, and 477, 2025. The property in this case is located at 1442 Joyce Lane in Seaford. The applicant is Glawison Rodriguez. Any discussion? If not, do I have a motion and no enclosure on this one too?
Whose turn is it?
John.
John's on you.
He's doing it.
Okay, 47625, variance, lot area occupied, maintain roof over patio, attached to dwelling, special exception to maintain shed, and we have conditions that the patio remains open.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let's see. So the Island Park case, right. Now, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. The next case is case 478. Yeah, I am. Case 478 of 2025, which the property is located at 25 Saratoga Street in Lido Beach. The applicant is Brandon Kemper. This is a case that has been on before, we granted, as it says in the record, we granted the pool, denied the fence forward to the dwelling. They apparently asked for, according to Mr. Pellegrini, who went through their file at the time, they asked for rehearing subsequent to that, which was denied. And then they went ahead and installed the pool and the fence forward to the dwelling. So number one, I wish to inspect it. I imagine I was one of the ones who inspected it previously. And and then counsel for the board is going to look into the issue related to res judicata, given that we did already deny the fence forward to the dwelling. There doesn't seem to be more information, may or may not be applicable. And I also was hoping we could find the site plan that went with the prior case.
Sure, so it's probably actually in the file. If I'm not mistaken, it was correct that the initial proposal was to the end of to the front of the property, which was denied, and this extends forward of the dwelling in a
5
certain
feet.
location.
So it may be a case that we still would want to rule on and not just consider as judicata, but we'll have to figure that out. I'm going to go inspect, and council will do her part, and we'll figure it out, put it on reserve. Okay. Next are cases 479 through 481. The applicant is Anthony and Maria Di Benedetto and Eric and Christina La Corsini. This is a senior residence. The property is at 909 Viceroy Road in Wantagh. Let's see. Is there any discussion? If not, is there a motion? Definitely the deck is not to be enclosed further if it is approved.
Okay, so I make a motion on case 479 to 481 of 25 Wantagh. Anthony and Maria Di Benedetto and Eric S. and Christina L. Corsini, located at 909 Viceroy Road, to be approved as requested with the deck to remain open.
Okay.
And senior resident conditions.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It was actually beautifully maintained. Oh, you're right, Kim.
No, I don't think we
yeah.
necessarily have to do it. We can just hold on to the decision until we receive. I'll reach out to Ms. Pangallo. She's very responsive.
Yes, I agree.
And we can just, again, not release the decision until the reversion plan is received.
Wonderful. Okay, next case. I agree with you. 360, hold on. I got you. That's why I was. So 276 of 2025. This is the case of the property at 3769 Brooklyn Avenue in Seaford. There was sufficient evidence on both sides. I assume that we should, several of us should take a look at the property. There are enough issues raised in the email messages and a few of them here. I think we should all have some eyes on it to figure out, like the safety issues for visibility. Yeah, go ahead. That's what I was going to say.
I listened to all sides, and they all had good points, but I can't imagine living next door to somebody that has 7 garages with antique cars, and looking from the picture, there's another 7 cars that are in the anti-way there. And forgetting about variances for setback and everything, just the contour of the neighborhood, it's a residential neighborhood. And, I just think that that's an issue, And then you have the son that went to school for fixing cars, and they're claiming that he's doing that there. So it's just something, I don't know what the answer is, but there are a lot of questions.
I agree, and I think that it's also a use variance, which is the highest burden in terms of the proof required to even grant it. So most of the issues, several of the issues raised by the individuals who appeared today and in the emails, which the stack was large, but I did notice there was some duplicative. But it was still enough issues raised that we need to actually, I'm not personally prepared to render a decision now, because I think we do need to take the issues raised where some of them were issues we can actually see for ourselves. We go out there. So we'll put that on reserve and we'll figure out,
Can I ask a question?
Okay. Nope.
I won't.
So, we want you to ask more questions, John.
I just wanted to ascertain, was the property purchased exclusively on a tax lien sale, exclusively for this purpose? Do we know? I mean,
I don't think we know.
Because otherwise you can't use it for anything, correct? Can't build on it.
He could, as Mr. Brown said, if he detached it from his other garage, moved it somewhere on there, and made it a 3-car garage, he could build it if, let's say he needed a front and rear yard setback. He could build it otherwise as of right with a front and rear yard setback, or maybe he could make a long skinny garage that put him in tandem, maybe as of right with no relief. But so there are uses he can make of it. And given the size of the property, I think it was 41, somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 square feet. I mean, I guess he could probably situate some kind of structure there without any relief. But
What's the ruling? Is that considered a separate lot from his lot?
if he's holding them in the same name, definitely the way he's designing it, it's gonna merge. If he bought them in the same name, and he seeks to do, and he gets a building department, he gets any permit from the building department for that property, when the consideration by the building department is the whole land, they merge for sure. Some argue that just holding them the same name, they merge for town purposes. They don't merge for the county necessarily. But, I mean, he definitely could put.
He would need a use variance, as you said, to.
Not if he.
Put all those garages on them.
No, if he wanted to put a 3-car garage on that land that was not connected to his other garage, he would have a right to do that. The only obstacles he might have is a front yard setback or a rear yard setback. If he could structure it in such a way to meet the setback requirements and the lot area occupied requirement, he could put a 3-car garage as of right.
Well, he has to get that curb cut.
Yeah.
So in other words, he couldn't put the 3-car garage without getting the town to agree to a curb.
Well, if it were me,
It's the county.
that's the town. No, that's the town. I asked Chris if it was counter towny.
Okay, so it is.
Counter towny. I said counter. No, but you know, if it were me, frankly, if it were me and I couldn't get the curb cut, I just put a garage door in the back of my garage and drive my cars through there to get them over there.
Right.
I mean, you know, there are ways to do it, but
So he has options.
But you want to know something, though, it's not a big building, it's the height is under what it can be.
yeah, I agree. It's not huge. The placement is the best I think you could do there, in that he got it away from the corner, as far back from, I mean, I understand the neighbor's issue with her children in the back, particularly, you know, I mean, this is crazy, but you know, the cars pulling in there, being that close to my fence and my kids playing there, I don't want some car, you know, they're revving it up and it's.
And he did make the point that he's on the side of the Seaford Oyster Bay Expressway, and you got a lot of noise from cars.
I believe him, actually.
I believe
I'm not, but I also believe that his cars make noise when they work on them, you know. But I completely
Well, it
believe,
depends on what motors those cars have.
no, but I'm just saying,
No, but
I
the
believe both.
Corvettes, I mean, we've owned Corvettes, we've owned Packards, they make noise.
Yes.
And it's not that there's something wrong with the car.
No, I'm saying, I agree. I'm sure the expressway does make a lot of noise.
Right.
I believe it. I'm also sure that some of his cars make noise too. I mean, I think both are true.
No, I know they do.
Yeah.
We've owned them. You know, when they've got the big block motors,
Yeah.
they make a lot of
Joanne,
noise.
350.
There's a sale, let me get in that Corvette and.
So I mean, I think at the end, this is a case we just put on reserve, and we start looking at, you know, I went through some of the complaint letters, but let's, you know, anyone who wants to take a look at the issues raised, maybe we want to do that before we go out and look, you know, as you go.
Brown said he would submit conditions.
They're still living at home.
And that is another case that, you know, okay. Anyway, so moving on to the next case, 362 of 2025. This is the application of Avram Gross and Sarah Friedman. It's a property located at 606 Diane Place near Valley Stream. If this is granted, we also have the no enclosure of the front porch and the deck. So let's have discussion. Oh, yeah. So let's have discussion Oh, he didn't ask, did he ask to consolidate the prior testimony? I didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, good. I,
He said it's a continuation.
okay, good. I didn't grant it, but that's fine. So who wants to discuss this and who wants to make a motion on it?
I can make a motion. If somebody doesn't want to discuss, we want to discuss it, we could.
Okay, go ahead.
I thought it was a decent case.
Well, you went to see the property
Yes,
too.
yeah, and it's a beautiful house that's there. I can't figure out why they're knocking it down, but that's his right. That's his
I mean,
right.
the lot area occupied's a bit high for 6,800 square feet.
I have pictures,
But-
I took pictures around the neighborhood, like of houses that are building, that are,
I was gonna say, but in Valley Stream, they have higher numbers.
it's Valley Stream, North Woodmere there, it's sort of like the part off of Rosedale Road there,
Okay.
and it's, if you take, I just looked at a house that they're adjourning from the afternoon, the Dumont Avenue, and I took. Yeah, but you got to, on that block, there's two houses that look like they're commercial houses. I mean, it's.
Okay, well, we'll take your judgment. Go ahead and make the motion, Mark.
I make a motion on index number 36225, near Valley Stream, Avraham Gross and Sarah Friedman, variances to construct new dwelling, demolish old, be granted as requested,
Second?
with conditions.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll go to reserve.
Wow.
Oh, shit, one's mine.
Pat yourself on the back over there for the one page.
Okay.
You've been doing well.
Talk to us, looks like I have two there. It in the front yard, because we all know the story about that.
We do.
As long as the curb is actually filled in.
Correct, and I do think that the board can appropriately impose that condition.
Yeah, and I think McKevitt will do it.
McKevitt is aces. He doesn't-
Agreed. I was just saying that in
Yeah,
the back.
he doesn't.
He has good ethics.
Correct.
Okay, the next, oh, you tell us, do we have anything on
Okay, yes, on our,
328, folks?
328. Mr. Minerva did submit the additional documentation that the board requested with respect to the specs of the dump truck and the dump body.
Excellent.
Yeah, well, we have enough to do it here with you four, if you wish. Or we can just wait for Mr. Regano. I think we should wait. Well, I think we should wait regardless.
swung by there, but.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so next is case 440.
Okay, I have no update on case 440.
Let's see, we're waiting for permits, so, wait, permits for pool need to be addressed by who? By us, or?
I would assume by the building department.
Okay, is someone on that, or?
We'll follow up.
Okay.
We'll follow up with the applicant, because it's, it's their case.
Why wasn't I inspecting this? Okay, next case is 443 of 2025 in Lido Beach. It's 86 Sands Court. It's the application of Richard Rubin. Oh, this is the case. Oh, this is the case where the woman, I think she said she has a condition that's gradually getting worse, isn't that? And they were redoing, they have the basketball court in the back.
And lights, there was an issue with lights being.
Is this that one?
They lived in a court. I know this one.
Yes.
Me and John are supposed to inspect it, but he wasn't around.
Okay,
So-
we'll hold that one.
I think is this the one?
You inspect as well?
I will, yeah.
Okay.
JR and MP. We never did it. 'Cause
Times 3. I'll do it too. It's right by my house.
Yeah, okay.
Then the last case on reserve is 362 of 2025 in Woodmere. Did anyone inspect that?
I had inspected it originally, and then John said he wanted to take a look at it.
Okay.
And I don't think he has.
Okay, so unfortunately, looks like,
Okay.
okay, so we have to hold off on those.
Okay, do we have administrative matters?
Now we're gonna end up putting another page on now.
Hold on, we need, I need their cases for, I need the materials for, I need materials for this case.
So, we'll first start with a request for modification. Case 136 of 25, it's effective. They think that it's an unreasonable restraint on their property.
They agreed to it.
I will say that there was testimony which stated that the applicant intends on living there and giving their other property to their children, but it was a corporation. MMACZZ Corp.